What's up, Mrs. Balboni? What a story I have. What a story I have. I don't know. It's 1:54 a.m. and I'm driving back from New York right now. Driving back from New York. And what happens is when you don't take your, the keys away from your 87-year-old father, he kind of drives and keeps driving. So I got back to the humble abode, and yeah, the father wasn't there. Hang on, let me figure out where I'm going first of all. So yes, I got home from work around 5:30. Usually get back. My father's he's watching Fox News. He's whatever playing Sudoku. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. His car was gone, and yeah, it's like 6 o'clock, 6:30. I call my sisters. Yeah, you seen Dad? No, 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 no. 7 o'clock rolls around. I walk around, the apartment complex. No car, no dad. 7:30 rolls around. I'm calling his ex-girlfriend in Connecticut. Calling some other people. Um, 8 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's dark. So I called the local police. They came over. Said, you know what? My 87-year-old father is missing. Car's gone. Didn't take the phone with him. Don't have a tracking device on him. What's up, Flash? So, yeah, I was concerned. I was definitely concerned. Who knows? Who knows what happened? Cops came, got his blood type, got his social security, got everything, the car plates, everything that had to do with my father. So my sisters come over, brother-in-law, nieces, nephews were sitting in the apartment, just concerned. And the cops call and say, we have his car at, I think it was like 11 o'clock on this road. We have a picture. Dude, the shit, like, they can track anyone now. Not off of, like, Easy Pass, not off of any pay system, but just based on your license plate. So, cop calls me up. He's like, yeah, he was over here on this highway, at this time. What do you think he was doing? Like, yeah, that's kind of where my sister lives. Maybe he was going over there. Maybe he was going to visit my mom's grave. I said, I don't know. So he's like, let me get back to you. Calls up about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes later. We have him on Route 202. Like, oh shit. Do you know where he may be going? Route 202. I said, I have no idea. He's like, well, let me call the New York police and let's take a look at their data. I'm not reading the chat. Hopefully you can hear me. These are my good headphones, but according to the people say, it sounds like shit. So I tell him, I said, I have no idea why he'd be going up there. So waiting and waiting. I'm kind of happy because at that point I'm like, oh shit, he's alive. I thought maybe I was like, fuck it, maybe he's he tapped out. He said, hey, you know what? 87 years, lived a good life. It's getting boring now. Let's tap out. Dude, they tracked him through his license plate and everything. Literally, I'm in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. They tracked him 2.5 hours away. all the way up to New York. So right now, I drove up with my sisters. My sisters are driving my father back to the apartment. I'm driving his car back. Dude, what the fuck, man? Like, I show up. He's at a gas station, and there's two like local cops. They're hanging with him. They've been hanging with him for like almost 3 hours. And it was like a fucking vacation for him. But he was, I dealt with him a little bit. But yeah, his driving privileges are gone. Sean the Wolf. Yeah. There was hiccups about 2 months ago with the whole driving and, just confusion. This is the nail on the head. He drove to go out and get a newspaper, get his coffee, and he ended up in fucking New York, 2.5 hours away. So, they tracked him at 11 o'clock. So right now it's 2 a.m. 11 o'clock, like probably 10 minutes away from where the apartment is, where I live. And he fucking ended up all the way up here. Oh, God, dude. My life. My fucking life. But he's happy as shit. Oh, he was joking about it. I was like, holy shit. How do you deal with it? You know what I mean? How do you fucking deal with it? I gotta go to work in, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 4 hours. I haven't slept. I'm on the New York State Thruway heading south. What a fucking shit show, guys. Complete fucking shit show. I wouldn't put this on anyone. I'm happy he's alive, but holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, I showed up the car. Hey, what's up? Kevin, everyone knows my name. Your father told us all about you. But just goes to show you, man. You can track anyone within, like, I don't know, the police report and everything basically within about an hour and a half, maybe a little longer. They pinpointed it. They knew where he was. They knew where he went. And it wasn't, easy pass payment system. It was plain and simple, just pictures from the license plate. They knew, it's crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. I'm not reading the chat, motherfuckers. Don't troll me. I'm not in the mood for it. I'm not in the mood for it. Tomorrow is going to be a miserable fucking day. But I'm happy my father is alive and we found him. And this is the ultimate reason to take away the keys. My father will no longer be a threat to anyone on the road. Keys are officially gone. But it sucks, man. Yeah, and it was hysterical. He left his phone. I'm looking through his room, just trying to. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? And he'd left his phone, and it was dead. So when I called it, it went right to voicemail. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And I found it like jammed inside a couch. And I charged it, and I forgot like how to access his phone. He had the code and stuff. But yeah, so he hopped in to go out and get a coffee and a newspaper at, let's just say 10 o'clock, 10:30, and we're at 2 a.m. Almost in Albany, New York. I mean, we're close to Albany, and we're driving back, recovering my father. Yes. Fucked up, man. Start getting him rubbing tongues. Is that what it is? No, if I read the chat, I'm gonna crash. What's a newspaper? Well, sausage dog. That's what his day is. Wakes up in the morning. He wants his newspaper, not to read the news, but to basically do Sudoku, because Sudoku is good for the mind. I guess I'm gonna stay away from Sudoku my entire life. Flash, what's up, Flash? Yeah, this is a non-entertaining. This is me just basically venting, and you guys can listen. I'm trying to not crash, so I'm just kind of free forming and venting. But yeah, there's moments where it's just a cutoff. Where everything's all right. Oh, you know what? You know what? He's fine. He went out to get a cup of coffee and a newspaper and ended up 2.5 hours away from where we live. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. Try to chat. Viking preppers here. Monster, I need a cool photo of you two. My what? Hell, a cool picture? I don't know. Just scan my channel. I'm old, fat, and ugly, so good luck finding a cool picture of myself. But you're you're more than welcome to any content that I have up on my stream. More than welcome to it. Screen capture, do some AI shit. Make me jack, make me buff, make me more pale than I am. Do whatever you want, man. I give you the authority. I sign off on it. I looked. You looked for what? I'll post a picture. Not now. I'm driving, and probably maybe tomorrow night I'll post something for you. I don't know what kind of picture you're looking for. See how far out I am from. I still got quite a drive. Another hour. It's 2 a.m. I'll be home at 3 a.m. And I'll be going. Is it even worth sleeping? No, it's not. I'm fucked. Completely fucked. But I'm very happy my father is alive and breathing. But god damn, man, what the fuck? What the fuck? Lease is up in end of June. I don't know, guys. Memory care, fucking 12K a month for that shit. Can't put them in like a regular nursing home. I think it's probably going to be a home health aid, cash payment, Ecuadorian. Who the fuck knows? He can still fucking wipe his ass, and eat, and piss and shit without help, and shower. Dude, the fucking guy goes out to get a cup of coffee. Oh, fuck, dude. Good sleep after. Yeah, I'm fucked. I'm working Saturday too, actually. I got some things going on. But yeah, that's my story, guys. Pretty fucked up, right? Let me drop a link if anyone wants to jump on it. Because I can't read the chat because I'm on the New York State Thruway. If anyone wants to interact with me, console me, give me advice on my situation, but yeah, fucked up, man. Invite guests, copy. Let's see if we can do this without crashing. Let's do this. Paste. We got it without crashing. There we go. Anyone wants to come on and console me while I'm driving on the New York State Thruway back home. to get limited sleep. I'm just happy, like, we showed up. He wasn't, like, confused. He was hanging out with the cops, enjoying himself. But I don't know how you go about, like, you know, just overall thanking the cops. I mean, the one, whatever the fuck he is, Officer Mitch Cumstein, I owe him some beers or whatever the fuck you can do to thank a cop. This guy was, calling New York, tracking fucking cameras, and he said he went through like 43 cameras. And then what happened was, I guess, my father was at a gas station. He filled up the tank, and he was hanging out at this gas station up in New York. He was there for a while. He didn't have a phone, he didn't have anything. He was pretty much loitering. And I guess the guy, whatever. Someone over talked to him, realized he was confused, and he fucking made it all the way up here. Trucks, the car's in good shape, and fucked up, man. Fucked up. I don't know, man. It's just, I guess if you're like oblivious, he was happy. He wasn't fucking stressed out. It wasn't like, it was a big joke. I guess that's all right. He's not freaking out. He was relaxed. It was fucked up. That was drama, man. It was fucking drama, but going forward, man, it's like, what the fuck, man? Can't leave him alone. It's even like he loves to walk. It's, you take away the car keys and, he could walk and end up in fucking Manhattan. you know? Oh, there we go. Viking prepper. He wants me to go to Thailand and put my dad in a nursing home. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen, Viking prepper. I appreciate everyone popping on here and listening to this nonsense, but for me, it's like the reality of like what you kind of like. I don't know. It's like people that don't go to the doctor. My father was always like, oh, he's all right. You knew what was happening to him, but this is the point where it's public. Once you start making calls or, oh, he's, you don't know where my father is. Ex-girlfriend, family members, relatives, blah, 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 blah. Now it's out there. It's officially diagnosed, even though it was never diagnosed. Now it's officially, yes, his brain is fried. But, as I said, he's happy. Hey, what are you guys doing here? Fucking Jesus Christ, 1 a.m. or whatever the fuck time we got up there. Hey, good to see you guys. My sisters were like hysterical. I said, stop, you can't act this way. You go in there with a mindset. And, I deal with it day to day. They don't deal with it day to day. I deal with it every day. And you see, I guess you kind of, as I said, you kind of just live with it. He puts on a show when he goes to see my sister every Sunday to have dinner, and people call him, but it's. I don't know. All I know is Bermuda should be interesting. I'm just happy that he's still around and I can take him. It'll be fun. Who knows if he'll remember it or whatever, but fuck it. Should be an interesting trip, to say the least, but The keys are officially no longer accessible to him. I don't know how it's going to work. Could be some anger involved, some this and that, but can't do it. I mean, I was negligent to allow him to drive over the past 3 years. You know, never officially had the diagnosis, and I mean, I don't even know how that works, but his driving privileges are done, officially done. Sucks. I'm sure he'll be looking for those keys, and I'll have to deal with it every fucking time. Like Groundhog Day. Where are my keys? Dad, you can't drive. Why can't I drive? Well, we have to drive 2.5 hours to pick you up in fucking bumfuck New York. Oh, okay. Where's my paper? Where's my coffee? Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know, man. It sucks. It fucking sucks. Now he's tagged, though. It's like, you know, he's officially tagged, even within the building, because the cops showed up, and the one he's he works in security, quote unquote. He's an FBI agent, really cool guy, but he loves my father, and he was super concerned and got all the information as well, and was doing his thing, you know. But I called him basically about an hour ago. I said, everything's good, my guy. He's like, great. He's like, I was doing stuff for you, but yeah, the word's out. So I don't even know. The fuck do I do? What do I do, fellas, women? What do I do? Do I put him in a fucking home? Do I get the 24-hour home health aid? I don't know. Just fucking told my sisters, just fucking put a ball in my head if I ever get to that point. Look after him. Yeah, well, you got it. He looked after me when I was a youngin'. He's been a great father, you know, but it's just fucking horrible. Now, his life is wake up in the morning, yeah, 8:39, get your paper, get your coffee, get your he likes a coffee cake muffin, eat that for however long it takes him to eat it, do your Sudoku, clean up the table, go over to the couch, turn on fucking Fox News, sit there for 10 to 5 or 6 or whenever I get home. We have dinner, we go out, or I cooked a nice steak last night. Watch 7 o'clock, Jeopardy comes on, 7:30, Wheel of Fortune, 8 o'clock comes around, and he's ready for bed. And then rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Sunday, go to my sister's for dinner. Gets the occasional call from, a relative, you know. Never the guy that he helped finance a brewery. Never the guy that he got the job for. Never the guy that he put money in. Those guys they're not around anymore. You know, not the charities that he gave, a lot of money to. He was on the board of this charity, the board of that charity. Are they, calling him and saying, "Hey, how you doing, Bill?" No, they're not. They are not. But even just in, my world, you see situations where it's you go meet someone that has psychotic wealth, and they have 3, 4 kids spread out across the world. Husband's dead. They're worth a gazillion dollars. They're living in a fucking mansion, and they're alone basically. They are alone. Monster Johnny's like, hope you're all well. Who's that? Luce. Yeah, Luce, I could be doing better. But, hey, I'm not 6 feet under. I'm not in pain. I think sometimes mental anguish is just that could be the most painful thing. You know? Oh, by the way, I apologize. I was going to kick off a stream. I had everything prepped, ready to go, and I fell asleep. Been pushing hard lately. Pushing a little too hard. But some good things have happened in the past 2 months professionally with me, which has been nice. But when you have the good, you have the bad. But I don't know. I don't mean to bore you guys. I'm sure there may be something else more interesting on YouTube, but you're keeping me company on my ride home. How far do I have? I still have like another hour. Tough reading the chat. I don't want to crash into an 18-wheeler. Sean the Red Wolf, a.k.a. Gogo. What's up, Gogo? You thought about having your dad live stream with... Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, it's not for you guys. It's more for me. It'll be fun. And I'm going to make sure that I save it and this and that. I'm not going to let some fucker take it down. I'll be a self-centered asshole. A lot of the traveling streams are not for you. They're for me. They're for me that, eventually at some point it'll be entertaining to watch and look at and enjoy. This is when I went to Thailand this year. This is when I went to this place. This is when I went to that place. It'll be cool to have some content. My father. Yeah, Doc's my father. Go ahead, go right ahead, Doc's. And he'll be involved. We'll have fun. It'll be G-rated. I want to have my sisters and anyone who gives a shit be able to watch it. So certainly won't be a mongering situation, but taking the old man out on a little cruise, going over Bermuda. That'll be fun. May not be entertaining to all you guys, but it'll be cool for me. And in the end, that's all that matters, right? Self-centered prick like myself. All I know is today is going to suck. Today is going to fucking suck. If there's any day that I should just fucking call in sick, it's today. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to suffer through it. Absolutely suffer through it. Good food? Yeah, there should be good food. It actually looks, I watch all of the videos and stuff. The standard buffet stuff looks decent, but I already booked the steakhouse and the Italian joint. I'm only on the cruise for 5 days. So like the first night, the first day and a half is pretty much travel to Bermuda. So like the first night, I'll do the steak joint. It wasn't super expensive, but the food's supposed to be pretty good. We'll see. And I put in a bid I'm in a suite, which is really cool, but I put in a bid for the top of the line suite. It's really cool with the cruise line. It's bait and switch, man. It's like anyone who's on the cruise can bid for a better room. So I'm like, I'm up there in terms of like one of the best rooms. But there's like basically like think another level above me, so I'm bidding for that. So, and you put it, you can bid it. It's anywhere from like I think $100 or whatever, $0 to $1,000. So I bid an extra $1,000 to get the top of the line. The room's awesome. It has jacuzzi out on the porch and the deck. It has a baby grand piano. Has like all sorts of crazy shit. So if they want to suck another grand out of me, they can. But even if I don't get it, because the cruise is booked, so I was kind of watched a YouTube video about it and learned about the ins and outs, how it works, the whole bidding thing. And if they have the availability, you could possibly win it. But based on the numbers and stuff, it seems like the book is the cruise is completely sold out. So the likelihood of me getting the bump up to the next level is highly unlikely. And in the realm of things, it won't be the end of the world. It'd be cool. I haven't been on a cruise in well, if you consider Halong Bay a cruise, I was on a Halong Bay cruise last year. But this is legit, real big ass cruise boat. So it'll be cool. And it's just, when you got an elderly father that you're bringing, there's no flights involved. Basically like a 30-minute Uber ride, or my sister's driving us to the port, jump on the boat, do our thing, and then, get an Uber back, or my sisters pick us up to bring us back to the place. So it's a lot less involved. And considering the way things are going with flights, it's actually pretty good. So it'll be fun. But I guess I got to keep an extra eye on them with the deck and all that kind of shit. Can't get lost on the cruise, but you can fall over easily. Who's this? You got someone here? Oh! What's up, buddy?
Yo, Monster. First off, I'm not the Red Wolf Sheep or whatever the hell that guy
That's
is.
not you? I thought that was
That's
you.
not me. No, that's not me.
Jesus. I thought I had you nailed in G's because he was talking about something that you talked about. And I'm like, that's got to be Go-Go. That's got to be Go-Go. I'm glad you made an appearance for this. Dude, can you believe this shit?
Yeah, I was listening because I was on the stationary bike, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And look, he's 87. He's still got his brain. He's just wandering. Just get an aid. Just get some like partial. Your sister maybe during the day if she can, or somebody. Yeah. Just have somebody there, and he'll enjoy it because he'll read the paper with them, and he'll just do whatever they do, and he'll end up being a buddy with them. And it let's be honest, it's not going to be forever. So
it's the progression is it's just over the past 6 months. It's just but dude, he drove literally all day today, and ended up almost in Albany. Fairlawn.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Dude, I literally like over 2 hours.
He went to the Capitol almost.
Yeah, we're about maybe 30 miles away from the Capitol. Yeah, but it amazed me how they track people. Like they were.
You can't commit a crime these days. Your car's trackable.
Unbelievable, and it wasn't. I'm telling you, it wasn't like a pay thing. It wasn't Easy Pass. It was just the license plate.
Yeah,
it was just the license plate. Because I was I finally called the cops and filed a report at 8 o'clock, and within about an hour they called me back. It's like we had him on Route 208 going this way, and I said maybe he was like looking to go to my sister's, and then they said I have him on 202. Then I have him. He's like wait I gotta call New York, and I did. He was 2.5 hours away from the apartment. And it's just crazy. I really, to be honest with you, I thought, my sister lives close to where my mom was buried. I was expecting him over there, whatever, crying, dead, whatever. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So his
You should start streaming with them. I'm reading the chat. If you stream with them, that would be fun.
It's kind of exploitation to some extent. Would I go to
Bermuda with of course. Are you going to stream when you're in Bermuda? When you're in Bermuda, are you going to stream with them? Yeah. Okay. Then wait till then.
But as I said, it's more for me than you guys. You know what I mean? It's more to have, that.
Yeah. For when he's gone, you have some. Yeah. Put it in the YouTube. Upload it into private. Make it private for YouTube, and it's there forever. Unless, of course, you pull Ron or Stu D, Hustle, and get taken down, and then you're done.
I don't know if I don't think. I mean, anyone could do anything to get their channel taken down. But have I crossed the line ever with this? Maybe I have. Who knows? But in any case, I'll make sure that I have the content. I've already got the other shit downloaded. But,
just make a separate one nobody knows about and just put it up there and keep it private.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah,
it's that simple. It's forever. And you can control it. Like, you can set it up. If I don't do this by this day, delete it, because basically you're dead or don't really care anymore.
Who cares anyway?
Yeah.
But,
well, you're dead. You won't care.
Exactly. Yeah. Who am I going to embarrass? I've embarrassed my family enough in my life. They don't give a fuck.
Oh, you have kids. I can't wait till you're like 80 and you're doing this, and you'll be like, you remember Grandpa was there and you were yelling. You'll be like, shut up, I was there, you weren't.
I'm not. Even my father had said, if I ever get to that point back in the day, but you can't do it. But I mean, for me, it's.
That's why you hired third parties, because it's nothing personal.
Yeah, I just. But it's a wake up call. It's a reality check. This is a moment in life, with my father that it's you can't. I mean, as I said, I was negligent. But
technically,
he didn't get hurt. No one got hurt. But what the fuck, man? What the fuck? It's crazy.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just it's not going to be that long. Whatever you do, I think you said your lease is up soon, so you're going to have to tie it all together.
Well,
at that point,
that's the thing. I already my asshole brother from Georgia. Obviously, this the gossip goes around, so now it's official. His brain is fried. So I don't know what to do. I just don't. Do I continue on? The situation gets home health aid come in, and I don't know.
Just if you can cut the cost from where you're living now, when you move, and use some of that money for the in-home care. There's a lot of ways you can even save money while you're doing it. People don't understand how much it costs to live where you're living. They just don't.
No, it's astronomical. It's moronic. It really is. So I don't know. My sister's like, oh, he can move in with us,
Yeah, everybody says that, and then after the first thing like this happens, or he walks out right out of the shower, right when everybody's having a kid's birthday party, then it's different.
Well,
people don't understand.
As I said,
Leo.
I said this before. All he needs is his New York Post for Sudoku, his coffee, a functional television with Fox News, and a good dinner, and maybe once a week a family get together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what his life has been. You know what I mean? And
I think he's missing the the mourning doves.
But you know what? I think they were trying to roost again.
Uh-oh.
They were. They were.
Oh no! Don't let Flash know. Don't let Flash know.
Oh God. Where are you at? Have you been traveling, or what have you been up to?
No, I called the airlines because I kind of knew something was going on, and because I was trying to avoid Qatar, and Emirates said that we'll get back to you. They never do that. They always like, okay, how can we help you? And they're like, we'll get back to you. And then I just said, you know what, screw it. And then because I was arguing with Eat Air over a pizza.
You're nuts.
They told me because I couldn't eat the food on their menu. I made it out to like I had celiac disease, and yet I'm having a pizza. And then I was allergic. I was allergic to enzymes that had anything to do with olive oil. And then I told them that I couldn't have anything with peanut, wheat, or anything like soy. And the guy finally said, "Is there anything you can have?" I said, "Yes, a pizza from over at the business lounge." And they agreed, but they had to go over with the box. And they had to put a sticker, ITA sticker on the box. Then I can carry it on the plane. And I was going to film all this, but then they started kind of reneging. So I just said, you know what? I'm not flying and getting stuck. You know me. If I'm there 3 days and I'm not having a good time, I'm leaving.
You're leaving, exactly.
So I said, the last thing I want to do is get there and I'm stuck for like 40 days. And I'm like, no. I just switch. I'm going to go late September, early October.
Back to Asia,
like I used to.
Yeah.
I'm going straight to Vietnam. I'm skipping Thailand altogether.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
It's bored. It's not pre-COVID Thailand to me anymore. It's all corrupt.
Yeah, I'm looking 2027 for me. I mean, like everything, all my like vacation time is set in stone. But as I said, I think it's Peru and Panama, depending on how things go. I mean, obviously I'm locked in it. In May, I'm going on this cruise. Who's to say what's going to happen over the next year? But yeah, 2026 is definitely not Southeast Asia for me.
Yeah,
I
was just
upset about it.
Yeah. You want difference. You want some kind of variety, and you already did Singapore, Vietnam. You've already been to Japan. It's just it's the same boring thing every time because you have to rush because you only have a limited time, so you have to rush things, and you're like should I do this? Should I do that? You don't have the time to just sit there and say, you know what, I could do both. I could do one. I could do partial. You don't have that luxury yet. You will at the 6 and 6. But the good thing about doing it now, rushing it, you'll be reminded of those days when you decide on 6 and 6.
Yeah, well, even now, based on what's going on in my working situation, just even like being away, like with the regular standard vacation time is pushing it. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be cool going to Central America. You've been there. You've been to Costa Rica.
Yeah, no, I mean Costa Rica. It'll be cool.
You should go to Haiti.
No interest.
I went there with my church at age 13 on some kind of mission, and it almost derailed my whole life.
Why is that?
I went to the MEP station to give blood when I was joining the military, and they asked the questionnaire, and he almost didn't even read it because no one ever checks. Yes, he goes, "Have you ever been to Haiti?" And I said, I looked at it and I go, "Oh, I've been to Haiti." And he turned around and goes, "What? You've been to Haiti?" I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Let me ask you, how did you get to Haiti?" I said, "We flew." I said, "We went to a town called Port-au-Prince. I was there with the second in command for their church revival, whatever. We had bodyguards. You couldn't go 5 feet without two guys with armed weapons." And he goes, "Well, that's not what I'm concerned about." He goes, "Were you sexually active there?" I said, "I was 13. I said, "No." And he goes, well, we're going to have to test your blood again. They sent it away, and they didn't want to pay the money because I could have at any time just said, I decide, no, I'm not joining. So they thought that would happen. And so they sent it. They came back. And at the time, it was called HTLV3, not HIV AIDS. At that point, it was HTLV3.
What year was that?
And 84, 83, 84.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they
were concerned about that. They were
yeah. I couldn't give blood. I couldn't give blood. And if you're in the military, you're useless if you can't give blood. You're non-deployable. And in those days, you were non-deployable. So I was like, okay, I wait 6 months and then I just don't check that box. No big deal. But then they came back and said, don't worry about it, but you can't give blood. And then the same thing happened when I got back from the Persian Gulf. They said it could give blood. I'm like, why? And they said, well, for a year. And I said, okay, you know what? I can't give blood. I don't give it anyway because we have a family blood bank thing. We only take our own blood. We don't give blood to people. We don't take blood from people.
Yeah. Well, you remember all the hemophiliacs that got AIDS back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yep.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, and all the people, all the dentists cutting corners, all those people were getting AIDS. Because I remember it was a thing called afraid of getting AIDS. And the top 3 ways of getting it, gay men, needles, and your local cost-cutting dentist.
Crazy.
So you're going to go to... Yeah, well, AIDS, people are like, oh, thank God, I just got AIDS. Remember when it was like, oh, my God, thank God I don't have AIDS. It's just herpes. Now it's like, oh, thank God I just have AIDS. It's weird how things are progressing. And if you're old enough, like you and I are, we, in a couple in the chat, we know. You know, now they have that PrEP pill and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you think about the 80s overall and the excess, the cocaine, the money, if there wasn't AIDS, you imagine what like the sexual culture would have been in the 80s? Oh, oh my God.
I think it slowed down from the 70s. Yeah. But after like Magic Johnson and he like 5 years later you're still alive, the people started realizing, okay.
But I mean, like, I mean, you're what, 4 years older than me, but I mean, like, that was, I mean, like, whatever. I mean, that was prime time. That was the 88, that time, everyone was terrified of it. You know? Whatever. Oh, man. So what's, Ron's back in the game again, huh? Did you see that shit? With, the kid from fucking India? Took down
no, did he get taken down? He got taken down, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember that guy because one day I was watching it and I'm like, he had this preacher on. He had this guy in the garage crying because his son wouldn't go to bed at 4 a.m. He had this guy from Ohio, Northeast Ohio. He was in between where Charlie and Big G, so he was right in the middle of those. And he was talking about Sandra O'Connor as Sandra Day O'Connor as a role model for his daughter. And I remember his daughter was 12 and I'm thinking, wait a minute. Her only regret was allowing strip searching of a 13-year-old girl at a mall and a police station. And I'm thinking, that's your role model. Apparently he had no fucking clue about this. He just tried to sound like a concerned single dad.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. But everybody's down. I saw everybody like Hassel, Stu D,
it's
Barry.
It seems like the whole bullying thing, like YouTube is literally like they're terrified of lawsuits. That's what it comes down to.
Well, they better be. They better be because all these new things going up. The states not so much. But if you commit it here and we have a reciprocating law and you go there and you have a layover, just like your dad, they know you're in that layover. You think you don't know, but they do. And you're done. Yeah.
I was amazed. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, it was an amazing thing. It was beneficial, but Yeah,
if you ever get called for not petit jury, where you sit with the other people and vote yes or no guilty, grand jury, take that and you'll get an inside information on all the technology. And a friend of mine, he said, you can sit in there if you want. I said, okay. I went and I sat in, and I could not believe what I was hearing. And it was about a woman. It was a school teacher out west. So she moved out east, the East Coast, but she didn't register in a sex offender registry. And they were looking for her, and they thought she was in Jersey. Well, they thought she was in Jersey, when she was really in Pennsylvania. And she applied for a credit card. And while she was filling out the card online, she got a knock on the door. The cops were picking her up. That's how fast. That's how fast. Look, none of us who travel, who looked into biometrics, we can never commit a crime anywhere in the world. We're already in the system.
They have everything. Yeah. They have us.
I told you when I went to Hong Kong, I was waiting in line, and the guy goes, okay, look in the camera. It popped up my last 3 flights. It popped up my boarding pass, my seat number of the last flights, the flight I was going on, everything. You're not committing a crime anywhere, especially in China. You're just not. It's and the people thinking they're going to get out of it in America, you're not. You're going to have to do that. Even to fly from like Jersey to Ohio, I would have to do that.
Think about Thailand and all these people that are living over there on the bullshit, tourist visa.
Under the radar.
You're not. You just can't do it. I mean, you just can't do it. They know everything.
Yeah, there was a German guy, and he was over there 42 years. And he was telling me, he said, yeah, I got to do it legitimately now. I'm going back to Germany, getting an updated passport. I go, you don't have a passport? He goes, oh, I have a temporary one. So I could fly home, get it done, and come back. Because he's married. He was married for like 30 years, has like grandkids now. And he has like all this stuff. And he's not just going to I'll turn my back to all that. He wants to come back. He may not be allowed back. He's very worried. I said, it's Thailand. Enough money, and they'll say, hey, look over there. While everybody looks, you just wander the other direction and nobody will know.
It's tough now, though. It really is.
Yeah.
Everything's being recorded. You can't get away with it, man. You really can't.
Yep. One slip up. That's all it takes. And then you're going to end up like in Cambodia, where you kind of sort of can still be kind of shady, but even that's getting bad because all the banking, they already know where you're at, because as soon as you take money out of your bank account, they know.
All the cameras with the banking, and it's just everything.
Is it true Ben's been streaming from a bathroom in an airport bathroom?
Who knows? Said he was in Singapore, and
okay.
They supposedly spent 3 days in Singapore in the airport there, and then he finally got kicked out. Who knows with that? You don't know.
You can actually do that. You can hop from one airport to the next airport to the next airport, but for people, it would be tough. And I actually got my ID card with my global entry, and I applied for it with my brother's business account number, or I wouldn't have been able to get it. Not the global entry, I got that. It was the one where I can go and use all the business class fast tracks in 16 different countries, 48 different airports. So I'm going to try it in Udon Thani Airport. they're probably going to look at it like, what's this?
Go back to Udon.
Yeah, no, I think my days at Udon are over.
I like Udon.
It's okay for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
But then you want to be in the 21st century again, and then look, if you're going to retire, that would be a place to be, because nobody's there to bother you. There's only a handful of expats, and they're the same guys. You could do that, but I think Hua Hin would be a place, and if Bangkok didn't have poor weather, that would be a great place to retire.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Vikings going to Udon.
Udon. I thought there was only young girls in Udon, right? Isn't that what they say?
I think that may be a lie.
I think I think based on what's going on, I think that whole keyword thing is officially done. I think it's classified as bullying, right?
If you, I think, I'm not going to say where I'm going to go. I'd probably tell you in the private before you, and after you had this stream, I could put it in there. But yeah, I think I'm going to take a quick trip for like 4 days somewhere. And I was going to go to Peru next month with my brother.
Oh, shit. Okay.
He's bringing a family friend, and she's legally blind now. She's not blind, but legally she could be considered blind for legalities.
Yeah.
And we have like a 50-year war. And I try to be polite. I could just say, "Oh, you look nice today. What don't you like about my shoes?"
Oh shit!
You can't win. So I was thinking, I could go, and I could say, "Hey, look, just walk straight and let her walk right into a train or something," and who would know? We just walk into a train.
Machu Picchu should fall off a cliff.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I want to go up in the plane. I want to do all this stuff, and I don't want to hear her like, "Oh, I wish I could have been here when I had better eyesight." Well, you were offered that years and years and years ago, but you were too good.
Debbie Downer.
You had to go to Monte Carlo. You had to go to Nice. You had to go to Brunei, but all of a sudden now you want to go to these places you can't see, and then complain because you can't see it. Yeah. Well, so you got some thinking.
What's that?
You got some thinking to do about your dad.
Yeah. Well, now it's not just on my shoulders. It's kind of going to be a group thing now. It always felt like it was always on my shoulders, but everyone's now officially involved. So it could make things more complicated, but it's not just me,
Yeah, it's not you. Yo, Luce, what's up? Yeah, is your brother in Georgia going to have?
No,
it's just too far for him anyway. So
he just doesn't.
There's a lot of things, but if I were you, I would. You just do what you have to. You're going to be out of there in, like you said, a couple months or whatever. Go find another place that you're going to be with the expectation that he won't be there in a couple years, and use that difference of money and just get an in-house aide or something, nurse, CNA.
All the places are expensive, Logo. You know that.
Well, of course.
So,
by chance, was your dad in the military, National Guard,
he was.
ROTC?
Yeah,
he was?
Yeah, he was in the military. Yep.
Then they might be able to help with the nursing facilities. But you don't want him in that anyway.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll look into that because my neighbor, he had a stroke and he basically was bedridden the rest of his life. And he was in his wife was at that time in her mid 80s. She couldn't do anything. So they put him in a St. Francis care in Lawrenceville. And it was like $10,000 a month.
Oh yeah.
I'm burning through my savings. And I knew he was a Marine, so I called Chris Smith's office and I said, "Hey, can you do something for this guy?" Because technically, they're not going to put him in a home, but they're not going to let him rot. So they worked it out, and they put him in a place, and it went from $10,000 to like $4,000. So
yeah, I mean the way I mean, just based on the research that I've done, is you could be worth $5 million, and I mean, whatever. Let's say $2 million. They'll suck you dry until you're
But they'll,
down
they'll
to.
they'll try to have you sign everything over, even though if he can die an hour after sign it, they get everything.
Yeah, but even
Obviously, you
then,
would
like
never do that.
their expectation is they try to get as much as they can. They look at bare minimum. You know what? We'll have his Social Security. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
exactly.
that's so he's getting the max payout, whatever it is, 3,500. Whatever
Yeah,
the fuck he gets his Social Security.
yeah,
But he's pissed away a lot of money. Like
yeah. Well, you did you say your grandfather did that too?
yeah.
Yeah.
He,
Well, Monster. One day you're going to be doing it, but I think you're going to be doing it like in a different way.
Oh
You're
no,
going to be
definitely.
PP Island. You're going to be doing it in a different way.
I'm not gonna whatever. I mean, shit. If in the end, if it comes down to Social Security for me, you know me. I mean, I lived in I would be happy in Isan with a
Yeah.
beer, fucking a nice view,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't.
You could set up a live stream and maybe in like 15, 20 years, all those tough guys will still show up. I watched that stream again. I was like, Monster, here I am. Here's my location, fellas. Come and get me.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh God.
No one ever came to get me.
I think everybody.
Someone called. What? By the way, someone called one of my assigners for roughing, which was hysterical because he's like,
Wow.
some guy, yeah. So
Uh-huh.
he called. He said some guy called about you, saying you're going to Thailand and blah 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 blah. They don't give a fuck. These guys, they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't understand, and two, they know that you show up like and do 15 straight games over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They don't give a flying fuck what you do in your prime.
Like with what we do officiating, we get accused of things, doing this, doing that.
Of course.
And these guys that assign games, they deal with that every weekend where, parents, coaches, this guy did this guy did that. Unless there's proof or they just don't, they deal with these calls all the time. And it's not, it's just, it was funny. I was like, he's a good guy. He's like, some fucking guy called me up about your YouTube page or something, about you going to Thailand. I'm like, oh, Jesus. So, whatever. Yeah, there's some fuck, and I know who did the, my docs page, by the way. I know exactly who it was.
The clown thought you were Morrisville or Morristown. Morristown, yeah, that's up.
Yeah, he got a little bit of it right, but I figured out who it was based on a few things. But I've been promoting him. Everyone log on and sign up to Kevin McLaughlin. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's weird. I think I heard you say you were going to Manhattan in April? I'm
going to do the pizza. I'm going to do. I was.
Are you going to meet Robert V?
I want him to show. I said we'll go to one of the pizza joints, and if he wants, we can meet up. And my objective is to hit a couple different pizza joints, buy a pie in each place.
Yeah, the rules. Eat 4 slices, and then you go to the next one.
I'm going to go to John's on Bleecker, that. I'll do that again. But then, I'll go out with a full pie. Each place I go, I'll get a full pie. Eat some of it.
Well, you hit the right one in John's on Bleecker, and you got it on a good day. You got it on a good day because it's hit or miss. That's why I put it at 3 because even on the miss day, it's top 3. And but nothing's gonna beat Lombardi's. Nothing.
No, I'll pop around, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to be doing,
but go to better ones. Don't do random, some Chinese guy making pizza or where all the little Asian kids line up after school. Don't go to those places.
I may even head over to Brooklyn, We'll
you'll get a different pie.
It's not going to be driven off of, walking a certain amount of distance or whatever. It's going to be, it'll be fun to just kick back into it.
You did 4 days of walking, 40,000 steps plus.
Yeah, that was hardcore, man.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a lot
And then we didn't hear or see from you for 1 week. I was thinking, Monster, welcome to the real world.
Yeah, no, I could do it. You know that. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling my age now a little bit, but I can still do that shit. It's all mindset more than anything. I mean, physically, yeah, it knocks the shit out of you doing stupid shit like that, but it's all in the mind. You know?
Yeah.
Push
Yeah,
yourself.
you're just walking. It's not anything tough. You're just walking. If you don't think about anything, your legs will just keep going. If you don't say, hey, stop, your legs will just keep going. It's just your body goes.
But the thing
It's
is
just
like
how
when you're doing a stream, it's not
you're not even
like
thinking about it.
Nah, you're just bullshitting and this and that, and it's how much content is there, but it's something interesting. I mean, some people enjoy it. I'm not planning things out. I mean, I'll plan out things to some extent of where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do, but just wing it. That's really what it comes down to. With this, streaming every week, streaming, this and that, it's not for me.
Yeah, doing it once a month or once every 3 months, once a quarter, that's 4 times a year. It's okay.
Yeah.
Do that. That's why they already did the psychology behind StreamYards. That's why they gave you 5 hours a week, so you could do 20 hours a month.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's all done. They never make decisions without putting the human psyche in it anymore. It's just the fact. It's how the world works. Even McDonald's did it back in the 70s when they changed everything from just yellow to red yellow, because red and yellow make people hungry, they found. And so just said start everything. That's why Burger King does, and nobody eats there anyway. So, but Wendy's kept the red in there. It's just how it is. Most places have yellow because it's calming.
Well, that's the whole casino thing too. The casinos have that down pat.
Yeah. You look, they have loud music, so you can't concentrate. Yep. They have the same carpet with same design colors. Yeah, they pump in oxygen. What's really going to kill? Well, it's already in Vegas and Reno, but what's going to kill, like when they get to places like parks, when they have it where you can put your credit card into the machine.
Oh God!
For now, the state said no, you can't do that. But once they get that level, because I remember back in the day, they said it was called Philly Racetrack. Well, we're only going to put a couple slot machines, just maybe 1,000. And then the table games, and then the racetrack, and then the unit sports betting. Now it's a full blown thing.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
Buddy Mike. Yeah, go ahead.
On the cruise, they have the casino. I'm gonna have fun with that. That'll be fun. I'll fuck around. Dude, I still have not filed my taxes. Remember when I had they shut me down, that one online gambling thing. They shut me down.
Oh yeah.
And I'm still waiting to get my fucking forms from them. I can't even access the fucking site, dude.
Yeah, you need a W-2G.
I'm still trying to track that down. It's affiliated to Harris, but it's not the same thing. It's not like it's completely different. So it's kind of
every year I have to deal with New Jersey because I have a 1099-R from military retirement pay, and they don't tax military pay in New Jersey up to $180,000. And every year I have to make the same thing. I put 0, and then they'll audit it, and then they'll send me a bill for I think $18 for the administration fee, because I'm not getting taxed, because they can't tax it. They're not taxing it. And every year, and I call and I'm like, is this ever going to be fixed? And they're like, no. And I said, is there any way I can come down there, just hand it over and get a stamp so I don't have to pay the administrative fee? They said, yeah, you can come down to Trenton. And I'm like, I'm not going to Trenton.
Yeah, I'll pass. I'll pass on that.
I'll pass. And then you hear like the pause, and then they want to say, what's wrong with Trenton? I'm like, look around.
Exactly.
Smell you later. And then, but
Friend makes, the world takes.
yeah, they don't even have the lights lit up all in. One of them's like hanging now, and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, I'm going through the same thing with taxes. I got a bunch of shit next year. I'm really gonna get hit. I'm gonna get hit hammered next year. It is what it is. Look, I'd rather get hit than have nothing to get hit on. You just got to look at it that way.
I am officially entering New Jersey right now. It's 3 a.m.
Yeah, all right. Woohoo! I mean, woohoo!
New Jersey. What a fucking shit show. Holy crap. And
is your dad with you sleeping?
No, he went with my sisters.
Okay.
So I have his car. I'm driving, and it's my two sisters and my niece.
Yeah, don't go to bed. Don't get to bed. You did this when you flew back that one time 2 trips ago.
Yeah,
just go straight to work and then sleep the next day.
I'm fucked. Today's a tough day too. I got a lot of shit going on. But
yeah, if I were you, I would go straight to it.
Well, I already
get relaxed, a good massage for the day.
And basically like 8 o'clock, I'd already put the word out to the guy, my boss, saying he's aware of the situation that I'm in, and said, listen, I said, this is, I'm not sure about tomorrow. I just want to give you a heads up. And then when I found out where he was, I texted him. I said, I got to drive up to New York and get my father. And all he said was, "Oh boy."
Yeah.
He had gone through a similar situation with his mother-in-law, so he's well aware of.
It could have been worse. He could have been up in Boston right now.
Dude,
I'm visiting Monster.
If he took the turnpike, he could have. He took side roads all the way up there. 9W.
Wow.
He took all side roads.
Yeah, he would have been tough for him to get on the upper or lower bridge, because then they would have been like, dude, do you know where you're going? They would have stopped him probably.
You know what? It amazes me that he, hey, whatever. Just fucking amazes me, but it's just I had to go live. I was bored. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. That's a story, though. It's a story. So I will probably not even discuss it going forward, with him. But the keys are done. I mean, it's done.
Yeah, you have to take them. Look, if the roles were reversed, he would take them. Out of responsibility. That's all.
The keys are gone.
Yeah. Well, can't you contact a motor vehicle and say, hey, look, I'm having issues. Is there any way we can make him take a test? Probably pass it, and then you're done. Then he'll pass it, and then you're effed.
No,
I think New Jersey, they're contemplating anybody over 65 having to retake the physical driving exam again.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I remember reading that. I'm thinking that won't last. Every single.
With my father's mindset, like this, the cop that helped me out, I'm gonna try to do something for him, and all I would need to do with my father is have him come over and talk to him. So my father has a respect for military.
Yeah, law.
And if he's giving me shit, all I have to do is say, hey, listen, can you come over here and talk to my dad? And then
that might be all it takes, and then your dad would be like, you know what? I want to be responsible. Here's my keys. Try to get it where he offers the keys, not him.
Yeah,
but if you need to do that, do it. But get him to offer it.
The keys are going to be not available to him, and fortunately, the way the scenario goes, most of the time when he looks to drive, it's when I'm at work.
Yeah, because he's bored.
Well, yeah, but he wants to go. We're going to get his coffee and his newspaper taken care of. We'll get that squared away for him. But
Yeah, just look, if you have to, call the version of Ron in your area. They'll deliver anything.
Yeah, I know. We got it. It's just
Yeah.
the whole. I had the post getting delivered to the apartment, but it would never show up. Like it would get stolen, not stolen.
Yeah.
It's just whatever.
Yeah. Oh, it snowed today. I'm not doing it. Oh, it rained. I'm not
Well,
delivering it.
go.
Yeah,
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I could probably just save, a week's worth of, you know, New York Posts as long as the Sudoku page is clean. I just, I already talked to the host on the cruise, and they're gonna download the Sudoku form every day, so they'll
yeah.
have the New York Post Sudoku, so he can work on it.
Yeah. Well, have that because my neighbor's dad just died and he was 87 and he has what is known as type 3 diabetes, which is Alzheimer's, dementia, and I think they're even putting Parkinson's in it now because they want to treat it the way it should be treated and all lump it together. And I saw him walking around like there's a school at the end of our block and it has like human figures. They look real at nighttime. And he was talking to the statue. And I was like, I call him Mr. Rambo. I go, Mr. Rambo. And he looks, he goes, oh, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, are you busy? He goes, oh, I was just talking to Jack here. I said, hey, get in. Man. Yeah, I said, get in. The worst, and it was the funniest, and my buddy, his brother-in-law, he was sitting on the bench, and there was a lady sitting there, and a cat. She had a cat. She was leaning over feeding, and he sat there, and he talked to this person for like 20 minutes before he realized it was a statue. But it was nighttime. I'm telling you, these are lifelike, and I said, no, God. And then I brought him home, and then like about 3-4 months later, 4 o'clock, my neighbor knocks on the window because I'm up, and I look, and he goes, and I said, "Come around." I beat the door, and it's always open. So he came in, and he told me his pops died. So, yeah, everybody's going to go through it if they live long enough. They're almost guaranteed you're going to go through something like that.
Yeah, so. It was funny. It wasn't funny, but my father couldn't find my mother's tombstone. It's not like, so that that was the thing. He was freaking out about it. He was calling my sisters and this and that. And I finally said, Dad, let's just go. I'll drive you over there. This was last weekend. We'll drive you over there and we'll find it. Dude, I couldn't find it. I don't go there.
Yeah.
And then finally, I got my one sister on FaceTime. She knew where it was, but that's why I thought today that's where he was, because he knew where it was. It's in his mind now. He knows exactly where it is. It's very easy to find, based on a few things. So that's why I thought that's where he would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now it's weird because I can go back to anywhere in time. And I'm like, oh, I was here. Right now I could go over here. It'll be here. There used to be a tree here. I can do that, but I can't do funerals, cemeteries. I can't find people in cemeteries. I have to have like my sister, like bring me for my relatives. I'm like, because they're all in the same area. They're like, you can go for one, take 10 steps over. They're all in the same area. And I was, but I couldn't find them. I was like, what the hell? And they even have like a map where you can. You
can get the map online. Actually, it was funny because I was walking around and I found like my neighbors, and it's just like with my father, I'm also almost positive that he bought like the double plot, where basically they stacked like when my mother died, they just basically put him on top of my mother.
Yeah.
And but I got to look into this because it's like I'm not sure if he has the plot or not. Because usually, what it is a double stone. because the place where he is it's all nothing raised. It's actually a nice cemetery where they don't have all the stones sticking up and shit. Everything is flush with the ground.
Yeah, yep.
But it makes it more difficult to find. Like when I was walking around,
that's exactly that. That was my problem. I'm like, couldn't you at least like stuck a hand out and had a sign or something? Like, I'm like, where the? It's what's weird with mine is my dad bought our entire family's plot, and I already have mine. It has Gogo born 1966. Hyphen, and it's just waiting to put the year I died.
That's what I
used to go there as a teenager, and my buddies are like, dude, you're dead. I go, almost. I'm halfway there, bro. And they're like laughing. They're like, holy shit, but it cost like $1,000. Now it's like unbelievable to get, because it's a Catholic place. This place it's as big as a town with all people.
Oh, really?
They took out KFCs, Taco Bells, Softball World Diamonds. They took out all these places because people were dying. And eventually, after 40 years, those businesses were leasing that land from the Catholic Church. And the church said, we need the land. You got to go.
Now,
it keeps going.
I was joking about this. For me, it's $4,200 for the thing. I don't know how much the stone is, but I've already decided what it's going to say. And my sisters aren't a big fan of it, but basically what it's going to say is it's going to be beware in capital letters, landmines. And that's what the stone's going to be. Now, isn't that a good... I don't know if they'll allow it, but how fucking hysterical would that be?
They'll allow it. Look what they... I remember W.C. Fields, his was... I think they moved him, but it was... on the whole, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. Rather than being dead, he'd rather be in Philly, which he really didn't like. And they got pissed off on city of Philly. They kind of moved him. But yeah, I like the one, the guy, which you really don't want now because of all the tutti fruities, but he said, I want to be buried face down so all the people that didn't like me kiss my ass. And I'm like, well, that would have been great back in like 200 years ago, but now like all these like Peter Puffers and pickle smoochers, they'll be, I want to be buried next to him. No, but it just it depends on if you're religious or not. Me, I'm just going to be cremated, no showing. No, people probably won't even know I'm dead. They'll be like trying to contact me, and then eventually they'll be like, oh, well, I have it set up with the VA. I die. Whoever at the mortuary, they contact the Social Security automatically. It triggers the VA, and then they'll trigger whoever needs to be told. Oh, by the way, Gogo's dead. There won't even. I don't care. I just like. I'm not one of those guys that believe you're going to be in heaven or hell or purgatory I'm not. And why bother? And yeah, it's one of the weirdest things because I remember going to funerals at age 2 and I was going like every other month. I was like, wow, what the hell is this?
It's like anything. I took death and dying in college just to get an A, to bump up my GPA.
Yeah. How do you fail that class?
But it was, I actually learned some stuff, and it's, the whole funeral process is not about, it's about the people involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy on the way up, me and my sisters were having conversations, and like you said, we were talking about like just people that are still involved in my father's life and people that aren't, and just different things. And I basically said to him, I said, listen, if we do a service, we probably shouldn't do it, because if I get up there for 5 minutes and start talking, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be running out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I told people don't have me up there because, look, I was 4. I was at my great grandmother's funeral, and I remember this old lady saying she looks so peaceful and beautiful.
She's dead.
I said she looks dead. She's dead, and that was the first time ever I got swooped out of a place. My dad, here's 50 cents. Go across the street, get a soda.
Like when my mom died. You have your suit on. There's a lineup at the wake, and it's a very awkward situation.
Yeah, because people. You kind of feel bad for the people that feel obligated to be there, and you put,
She's in a better place. I said, no, she's
no,
in a fucking box. Fucking formaldehyde.
Yeah, I think two reasons. Religion was formed to control society as a form of a government.
Yep.
And also, it's to make people feel peaceful and accepting death. Because let's be realistic. There has never been a single case where somebody died. And 6 months later, wait a minute. We're at your funeral. What are you doing here? And that it's not happening. And I don't go by these stories and all that. No.
For a lot of people, though, if you think about it, depending on the mindset, if there's no belief of an afterlife or a meaning of what, people just can't accept that you die and that's it.
Yeah, they just can't.
It's I'm gonna see my lovers and my family from
You're gonna die and rot. There's no.
You are.
That was the greatest. I don't remember the old guy that you're yelling at. You're gonna die. There's no heaven. There's no.
Yeah, it's just. But most people need that. They can't accept the fact that is whatever. And if you know what. I wish I could believe in that too. I really wish. I wish I could believe in that. I really do.
Yeah, but the problem is, it only takes one thing to prove that fallacy, and then you're like, square one. I got to try believing that again. Just live your life. You're gonna die. Just live what you do. Don't go crazy like all these people. Oh, you only live once. Do it all. Well, that's usually when people are homeless because they spend all their money in Tom Brady. And
I have
just
that
live
mentality on vacation, though. You know what I mean? It's a vacation mentality, but you can't. You can do that as long as you go back to work. If you're living that and you're not going back to work, that's when you run into the issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember you had one of your rants. It was one of the best ones. And you said, here you got guys, they're spending their savings on these trips. And I'm like, bingo.
You can't.
You should be like hockey. You should be side things to pay. If you're taking savings to do trips and all that. And I know people that are wealthy that take savings out. And I'm like, why? No, they're like, that's what it's for. No, it's not. That's there for other things. But people don't. Yo, Lotto.
It's what
you were right. You hit the nail on the head.
Reffing is my funny money. It's my
exactly. Fun money, fun notes.
That's
absolutely.
I gotta disassociate the the funny money with the gambling.
Oh yeah.
I can't because that fucks you. You can't do it. You know what I mean? This whole fucking dealing with this taxable shit going on with the online thing is fucking with me because I'm trying to get the proper forms and everything, and it's just turning out to be more the situation that I really.
When you fell in the trap, and I watched many of my friends do this. Mm-hmm. They play $3, $4, $5, and they win $1,300. Play $1 and win $11.50. You get the cash. There's no tax.
Yeah.
People are like, hey, but look what you lost. I said, are you calculating the money you lost by adding the $2 extra? They never add that in there. Now, my buddy, to be fair, his family's like, I think it's like $140 million. His dad already set up the trust. He can only get $10,000 a month because he gives him $10,000. He bought him a house. He bought him anything he needs. All his daily living is paid, and then he gives him $10,000 to just gamble. And I remember he came up to me. He's like, "What can I do?" I said, "You're going to have to make sure he doesn't have any conservatorship. You're going to have to make sure someone does it for him because all your hard work, you and your wife came here with no money, put this stuff, build it, and he's going to give it away to the casinos, and they're only going to be happy to take it." And he said, I don't know. I don't want him to like just be knowing he has this money, he can't spend any. I said, well, then up it to 40 grand. It's not going to be anything. But he goes, yeah, but he'll blow. He gave him $20,000 for his birthday. 8 hours later, it was gone in slot machines. It's just it's a fact.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You still there?
Yep. It's the old adage. If you're not making the money, it's easy to blow. The guy digging a ditch, he's not at the casino because he knows how fucking hard he had to work to make that money. That's why all these old people are blowing their Social Security checks and all this other crap, and they don't care because they know, it'll be there next month.
I was listening to, I forget who it was, but they were talking about all these crypto people. Crypto kids, that really, okay, so
that really made it 100 million plus.
They threw a couple, but it's, you know what I mean? They didn't learn by making that money in terms of,
you know
exactly. What I mean? They never really have they didn't start a business. They didn't, work from a schlep to becoming a manager or whatever. Hang on 1 second.
Absolutely, Luce. Easy come, easy go. I remember when I got my first car, I remember walking in the building. I would turn and look back and look at my car. And I asked a buddy of mine, I said, do you ever, look at your car? He goes, yeah, I noticed you do that. Why? I go, I earned that money to buy that. He goes, nah, my pops bought my car. I'm not looking at any fucking car. He's getting me this. And right then and there, I realized you work for it, you're going to appreciate it. And I remember I was like every other kid. I wanted something, but I knew I had to work for it. And by the time I made the money to buy it, I lost interest in it. So I realized, you know what, maybe I should wait on this decision. And it helped me because, I don't blow money. Just don't. Kelly Caldwell, no money. Well, of course, he has no content. He has no content. He's not going to have money if he has no content. Get a job, Kelly, if you're out there. No offense, just get a job. Everybody, if you're thinking you're going to win on YouTube, you're not. Get a fucking job. Yo, Chad. No, I'm not in Iran. Fuck it. I don't even care about anything anymore. Yeah, I have a 21-year-old SUV. I just drove it earlier today to go put air in the tire. I think one of the idiot lights keeps coming on. Low air pressure. And then I go bring it to check the air. It's perfect. So then it's just 21-year-old. It's going funky boogaloo on it. I don't even listen to it anymore. I just, whatever. I might even just turn that off. If I get to I'm so lazy, or I can't say the word lazy. I was told, stop using the word lazy. And then, so I have to go back to my original, selectively active. I'm selectively active, not lazy. Actually, I'm lazy. Well, today I did a lot of work around the yard. Jersey has crabgrass. If you don't put Scott's fertilizer in the crabgrass,
I'm back.
he's back and better than ever.
My sister just she's giving me the update. Yeah, exactly. 5-star Uber rating. Now he's giving me the update on the conversation my father had with them. Yeah, he just oblivious. They kind of asked him what happened and oblivious. Change the subject.
Yeah. Well, now you have your answer.
Yeah. Oblivious.
And it wasn't just you. Now you have other people. You go through this daily.
Oh yeah, no question about it.
Now you have people seeing it, and now they're like, they can't just say, well, I haven't really seen that out of him. Now they know. So
what
now
do what do I do for these cops? I want to do something good for them. The cops up in New York sat with them for 3 hours.
Yeah, get them a Yankees tickets. They're all Yankees fans. Get them Yankee tickets.
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah, the season's just starting.
Can you actually do that? I mean, can you? Okay,
yeah.
So I don't.
If they're allowed to take it, I don't know, but you can do it.
But I
definitely write a letter. Yeah, and just or get them like Amazon cards or something. You have a friend at Peter Luger's. Nobody's turning that down. Yeah, do that.
I just don't know how, like with cops, if they are able to accept that type of shit. You know what I mean?
They're probably going to say, "Oh, that's our job," but you know what? You can give it to the department, and they can give it to him. Insist on them getting it, and they'll take it.
Well, I'm probably going to have
real cops.
I'm probably going to have the one cop. I was just talking to my sister about it, doing the whole, because he's going to ask. He actually even said it. My sister said, "Oh, I'll get you your coffee tomorrow," and she, "Oh no, I'll get it." But unfortunately, when he goes to grab his keys tomorrow, all he's gonna have is a key fob for the fucking apartment. He ain't gonna have a key to get in the fucking. So, I think probably what I'm gonna do.
Put a GPS on him.
We're doing that. Yeah, we're doing that already. We're definitely doing that. But
I think what's that? Lifesaver or whatever, or help, I've fallen.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, we all made fun of that. Remember, we always like, I've fallen, I can't get up. Now we're like, we're all at that age. We're like, well, we got to help somebody.
Yeah, but I may ask a favor of that cop to come over here and do the key conversation. As I said.
Yeah.
Because it'll be.
I would do that because it's coming from somebody else, and you said he respects law enforcement, so that won't put you or your sister or anybody.
We're not in the firing lines.
Yeah, and it'll get it done.
Well,
do you have a clap on, clap off for lights and stuff at the house?
No, I don't.
Lotto mentioned it. That's why I mentioned it. Viking said, buy him pizza. Buy the cops pizza.
Nah, I'm going to do something good for him.
Do Peter Luger. I'm telling you, they'll give it to their higher-ups, and they'll get it. Believe me, they will.
I'll figure it out.
That way you didn't give it to them. Their higher-ups did.
So he went out. I gave him his paper. This is what he went out shopping for. He got red Solo cups. He got
triple stuffed.
He got Oreo cookies, and he got
tea.
He got tea. How many scoops?
He got the Arnold Palmer. He got the double. That was that. Oreos. Oreo cookies. I've never had an Oreo cookie.
I'm back.
Yeah, he's back, and he's back in black.
So it's 3. I may as well
3:30.
Yeah,
You were getting up in 2 hours, an hour anyway. Because your 4:30 a.m. urination.
Yeah, I'm due for a full checkup.
Yeah,
I
you're gonna have to get that Saul Palmetto. I don't know. I think I was like a defect at the factory when I was put together, and I urinate once in the morning and never again. The whole
Well,
day I could drink a gallon of water, nothing.
you know what's happened is being the nice son. I gave my father the good noise cancellation headphones.
Oh
And
yeah, those
yeah,
really nice
he's
ones.
the ones that you put on and they turn on and turn off. And I've been wearing I have the older Q35s or whatever. I actually have those on now, but they're tough to sleep with. So I've been doing the bone conductors. But like, yeah, that's the other thing with this fucking apartment complex. I'm tired of the fucking noise, dude. Just done with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yep.
I don't know. There's
Look,
actually
I remember my dad. I know everybody has different situations, but my dad told me I was 4 years old. I was picking up nails on construction sites, and I was pounding them because they were bent, and I would pound them back, and we would reuse them. And I said, "Hey, what's going up over there?" And he said, "An apartment complex." I said, "Ooh, I can't wait to move into one of those." He goes, "Never. You want your own
yeah.
walls and your own ceiling and your own roof. Never ever do anything." And you're right. He was right. Living with people and in a barracks and a dorm, he was absolutely 100% spot on. Look at all the homeowners association. People are like suing because they can't do anything, and
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
But it's changed. It's like because when I lived in Boston right out of college, I lived in a nice complex, pretty close to downtown and stuff, and people knew each other. But like here, I know the security people. I know the one neighbor, and I know the he's an FBI agent actually. He was the one. He was a really cool guy. He was the one that he came down. He saw me with the cops. He immediately came over because I've always been friendly with him. My father's been friendly with him, but he called me too. But he was cool. But it's only like there's how big this place is. You only know a handful of people.
Yeah, yeah,
But
and
like,
it's unbelievable.
yeah, but it's just yeah, I don't know. Thinking
You,
maybe.
you get older, you can't stand certain things at some point, and undue noise is one of them.
You know what I
The
don't
only
like?
good, the one thing you're going to miss when you leave this place is you'll be able to knock on a door and leave pizza for people, and they'll take it and eat it.
Oh Jesus!
I was like, someone left something at my door. I would be like, if it was a real pizza, I'd look around. I call the pizza place and say, "Hey, who ordered this? It's at my door." But they open it up and there's like four pieces already out.
I
There's a
don't.
problem.
I don't.
Maybe they saw you and just figured out we'll let them take it.
I don't even enjoy the concept of a door person anymore. They know too much,
Yeah.
man.
Oh
They
yeah.
really. They just know
Oh yeah.
everything about
Well,
you. You know.
remember at Christmas when you handed them the card? It wasn't because it was Christmas time. It was for not ratting you out, like coming in drunk or when you were caught with the
Yeah.
other lady.
Yeah.
They know everything, and they
They
made a
do.
lot of money. Those doormen. They still have them in certain places
Well,
in New
that's
York.
my cousin actually worked in Manhattan as a doorman, and he was getting paid dog shit. But once
Yeah.
the holidays came around, the
Yep.
money
It made
that they
up.
split up, he was I think probably six figures, maybe under six figures, but he certainly with all that, and it was all cash. So reported, I mean, they obviously have to report some of it, but a lot of it was just in the pocket. But he would make $50 here, $50 there, bringing up groceries and
Yep.
just doing like
Absolutely.
all that sorts of
Can
shit.
you can you imagine Ron being a doorman?
Well, I had this. I was. I didn't. I didn't. I wasn't on the panel, but like realistically, with the way things are going with data centers, Ron would probably be maybe a working manager or even better.
Oh, absolutely. He'd be making easily over 100K. Easy.
Easily. Bare minimum $125. Because if he hadn't fucked up, because he had the good job where he was making whatever 80, then he took the other job, maybe a little less. But if he had continued that progression, that was 7 years ago. If he wasn't, because Ron's a pretty smart guy. I mean, without the drinking and stuff, he'd easily be making between $100,000 and $150,000 a year. But the other thing, Gogol, you know what he also have the opportunity to do is travel. He could be over in Southeast Asia. He could be
yes.
The guy Ricky's friends with, Biggie on Broker, Big G.
Yeah, Big E. Yeah, he's doing it.
Well, that's his business.
Yeah, and he travels and all that he spends is written off. He's traveling dirt free.
I mean, he based on what the information that I have is if he's not he's the guy that runs it. It's not the company that he owns. He's the number one guy.
Yeah, but he's they're giving him the mileage because what company? I remember a guy I sat next to him at the airport. It was in Houston of all places, and he was bitching. He was on his cell phone, and this was before everybody had him. He hangs up and he's like, "Jesus fucking Christ, they're gonna cost me to start drinking again." And I said, well, I guess, hey, how are you? Is it going to be? And he just looked at me, and you could tell he was like, I'm going to punch this fucker. He just started laughing. He goes, I needed that, man. Moment there, I thought I was going to swing at you. I go, nah, you're not that type. He goes, oh, don't underestimate. I go, I'm not underestimating. I'm just figuring you're stressed out. What happened? He goes, they're telling me I got to travel fucking all these miles. I'm out 300 days a year. I'm on the road, and I don't get to keep the points for the fucking flights. Fuck that. And then I said, tell him you quit. Call right now. Tell him that you quit. He goes, I said, tell him you quit right now. He called. He said, I quit. They call back, and he just hung up, and he goes, they said I can have him and keep him.
Oh, of course.
I almost ruined it for the guy. He probably would have shot me, because back then you can travel with a weapon. I found something, Monster.
It's all bullshit, sir. And I hate to tell you, it's in your head. You are going to die and rot. There is no heaven. There is no hell.
Oh, God.
You nailed it. But,
You triggered me.
Just get triggered when you're going to be triggered tomorrow anyway, because you're going to drive to work. And as soon as you go out of your complex, that the car's going 800 miles an hour, then they slam on the brakes so they can turn in. You're going to get hit with that. You're going to be like, oh, fuck, I got to wait for it. I remade a video, road rage with you. Oh, look at this fucker. You making a YouTube video? No, look, I think work would be good tomorrow because it'll get you away. Today. Yeah. I keep forgetting I'm one of those nocturnal guys, and I say tomorrow.
I'm gonna jump in the shower for about 20 minutes. I gotta kick off at probably around 5.
Chad Jones.
So I have an hour and 20 minutes. So I don't know. I'm fucked.
Yeah, you think you're gonna be like, you have more energy now because you're hyped up because of what's going on. That low, it would be low about 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11, 12, whatever. And then that second wind kicks in, and then you just go home and sleep like you did when your second to last trip. That was weird. You caught the flight, you got in, it was 1:30 in the afternoon, and we won't see or hear from Monster for 2 days.
Well, the Bermuda thing is perfect because I leave on Saturday and I get back on like Thursday, and that's Memorial Day weekend. So it works out perfect because I'll work till Friday, relax, this and that. Take the boat on Saturday. I get back and I still have time off. I literally don't go back to work till Tuesday. So that should be good.
Oh yeah.
And then
how long you go? 3, 4, 5, 6 days? How long?
It's a 5-day cruise. I'm leaving on
Oh man.
Yeah.
I hope you don't get on the cruise that
Mhm.
turns into a Spirit airline type event at the airport.
Yeah. No, I have I have fast track because I've already talked. Because you get like an assigned host or whatever. And
Oh
I've
yeah,
already,
concierge
and
service. Yeah, get that. Yeah,
first
absolutely.
first thing is because I have a suite, you have like extra privileges. But then I also described the situation with my father, and I'm going to show up and I literally hand them my bags, and they're going to walk me right to everything's taken care of. They have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
credit card
Are,
on
are,
file
are
and
they
everything.
gonna
So
are they gonna have someone with your dad, like when you're not there?
um
Unless you're gonna be with them 24/7 until he's sleeping. Then you do what you do. And
yeah, no, I mean I haven't didn't think I was at that point. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This is, we'll see what happens. I mean, he'll be with me all the time, pretty much. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'll
I was looking.
probably,
I think
yeah,
I think you'll eat together.
hmm
I think he'll be into the shows, the entertainment.
yeah,
So that'd be like a chunk of your time together, and then you just have that like 3 hour window where it's like you got to figure out what you can do and fill that where he won't be bored, and you don't want to just you definitely don't want him with the balcony. Don't get a balcony, and you can't have that. But
we got a real big balcony.
you're gonna have to have a life preserver, man. And you're gonna have to be with him.
Coco, you know where I live. I mean, he could.
I know
I mean, he could.
that balcony. When I see the doors, and I think you have double doors for where he watches TV.
There's there's my room,
Yeah.
which goes right
Yeah.
out to the balcony, and then from the living room, there's a door that goes out there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
Hey.
he still has his mind. He's just he's not trying to cook or anything where he walks away and like oil's burning or like flames going or anything.
Nah, he doesn't.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
He'll fuck with the microwave. He likes to fuck with the microwave.
Unless he puts a glass in the microwave with water in it and sealed or something. I don't think he's going to do that. But I think right now you're in a better situation than my neighbor was. My neighbor was there 24/7. His mom, she's 85 and she's a nurse, and she's like, and he ran them crazy. He would be out on the back deck and he would wave at me and I would wave back, and then he would call me Frank, Fred, and I'm like, all right, I'll just play the role. So I went out, hey, how you doing? And I knew his first name, so I called him by his name. He goes, hey, Frank, remember we went fishing? I go, what year was that, 62, 63? He goes, it was 64. I was born in 66, and I'm not Frank. But I just played along with it, and whoever said and did this study saying that people with Alzheimer's and dementia, they remember like kindergarten like it was nothing and can't remember 8 seconds ago. Absolutely.
Yep.
He was proof of that.
Short-term memory. Yep. Shot.
Sausage wants to know if your dad is albino also.
No, he's not actually. He's not, but the skin thing, he's Irish and English and Scottish and all that shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He's from the UK? His origins from the UK?
Mostly Irish.
Oh, no.
You got the lighter skin. He's got dark hair, but you got the lighter skin, and it definitely pops more with the blood vessels and the nose and all that. So yeah, I mean, but no.
Speaking of that, was the medication still working on his skin?
Yes, it's actually been.
Did you find
really
the cheaper version in Thailand, or was it not available?
No, Dupixent.
Oh, okay.
It actually in Thailand, I forget how much it cost. It was cheap. It definitely was cheap. But I worked an angle and basically it costs almost nothing. It's like $1,000 a year for the Dupixent.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's all covered, and I got him in a program, so it's but his medication, even everything being covered, he's on 9 or 8 pills and the Dupixent. Yeah. Well,
I think Flash is on like 4 or 5 already, and he's only 45.
Ooh, Flash,
yeah.
Flash has got to cut down on the scoops. He
knows that. He has the count, and I always play the. You ever remember the professional wrestling? The guy stand up on the rope and he'll hit him. They'll be 1, 2, 3, and he'll stop and they'll go 4, 5. The fans. I was playing that when Flash was putting the scoops and he paused, and I said, "Wow, I can use that." But no, it's. Man, my neighbor told me his dad was on like so many pills he just didn't take them. He said at the time, "I'm 85. I'm not taking any fucking pills. Why don't you give me the pills? And because I have dementia, I'll forget to take them, and then everybody be okay." He still had his sense of humor, but God,
my dad didn't take his pills tonight. I gotta see. I'm still in the lobby. I haven't gone up there yet. Whatever. It is what it is.
Monster, remember you were going to take a cruise in Southeast Asia, and you looked into that? I saw one from Hong Kong all the way through Southeast Asia, past Korea to Japan. I was like, wow. I said, that would be like a great cruise. And then I thought, I don't do cruises. I did the Alaskan cruise, and the last cruise I was on was in 91, and it was in Bahrain.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, fuck that. I'm not
going there. Did Iran hit Bahrain? They did, didn't they?
Yeah, the Fifth Fleet's there. That's what they were. Bahrain, Emirates canceled their flights 3 weeks ago. I don't know if they might be open now, but I stopped looking. And I'm still getting messages from Ida. Could you rate our flight? I'm like, yeah, it was so great. It felt like I didn't even go. I just posted it. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, these people are nuts.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I went. There was a cruise that actually it coincides exactly with the times, my vacation times in November, when I'm going to Peru and Panama. But it was New Zealand, and I was like, it's a place I'd like to see. But it was, it was pretty expensive actually. Comparison to what
you got to pay. You got to pay a VAT tax. You got to pay. Look, I was looking at the flights. I could not believe they added like $2,000 to all the flights. I was like, "What's going on? These are first class prices now, and you're not getting first class service. You're just getting business.
Fucking coach, right?
Oh well, the coach stayed the same. Ron was talking about getting. Yeah, I was listening to him when I was walking, and he said that he found a flight, of course, layover in Saudi Arabia, and $800. And I said I was thinking I should like go on the live stream with them and ask them how much is the life insurance policy, or would they be underwritten, or would they just say no, it's too much of a risk, like being an astronaut? What's going on?
It's got to stop. Ron needs probably 2 or 3 years of not going to Thailand. He can't do it. It just.
I've been back watching, and he was like 450, 460, 480. He was making. I'm thinking that's what you should be doing. Pay whatever Danny pays in mortgage, double it, and you'll knock your mortgage out quick. I think he consolidated his credit cards to 2. I think it was an Amex and an Apple Card, which be the 2 you should have, and everything else just stop. And because if he said he figured out how to make the 300 guaranteed a day, that's $2,100 a week. Come on, you should be out of debt in 3 years. You should pay everything off. Yeah.
Just get it done. Get it done. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah, get it done.
Yeah, if he had listened to when we were telling him 5 years ago, now 6, his house would already be paid off. But I get it. I get it. Like the people gotta have like a holiday, a vacation. They gotta get away. They need a break. And okay, I get that. But look, if you want to have a decent retirement in a life while you're still able to get around and enjoy it, you got to put the work in now. You got to do it now. You can't like half-ass that. He's entering his prime earning years, and you gotta max those out. The good thing for him is he has a 401k, he has his Tesla, and he's maxing out Social Security. If he keeps working, he's going to be at 62. He's not going to get like $800 everywhere else. He'll get like $2,500 at it, and that's not a lot of money, but he can live in Udon on that. So yeah, he puts it together. I think there's an issue with Danny though. Like, what do you do with Danny when you pay off the house? Do you say, "Hey, Danny, you could stay here, but you're gonna have to double your rent," or do you just kick him out? Because little Ben would be like 16, 17 at the time.
The world. So you know what? You can only be a nice guy for so long.
Yeah, look, I get it. 20-year friends, but I also get it, and I clipped it. And Danny's saying, if we didn't need a place to stay and you gave us a good deal, I wouldn't have anything to fucking do with you.
You shouldn't be raising a kid. The kid's go to school.
That's a terrible situation for.
He can get a job at an outback He can go work at any outback in the United States. There's plenty of places. Whatever's making 70,
There's nothing you can do. It's easy for us because we're not in that situation. But remember, we had guidance when we were little kids. We had guidance when we were toddlers. We were held when we were babies. We had all that. Ron didn't have that. Danny obviously didn't have that. Danny didn't even have family. He's it. That's it. Danny dies. Ben's the end of the bloodline. If Danny and Ben get in a car accident and they die today, it's over. There's no history of Ben, Danny ever again.
I'm still questioning that bloodline, by the way. Yeah. I really am. Whatever.
I don't think so, Rory. Danny has a job and they do a means test and he makes too much, but I don't think he did this. He claims he did, but I know he didn't because I double checked. I actually called Social Security on this, and he would get between $600 and $900 for little Ben if Lindsay had work credits. If she worked, and Ron said she was a bartender or something else for years, then she, on the books, she literally made enough money for survival benefits for him. I think
even if she didn't, you would think that there'd be something.
No, you don't have any. If you didn't work and you're out of the books, Social Security doesn't. You don't exist to them, and you shouldn't, because think about it. And a friend of mine, I remember growing up, she grew up across the street, and she worked for a Hungarian bakery under the table. And she was like, "Oh, I'm 16 and I'm making $1,000 a week." I said, "Yeah, you're going to be 60 and you're going to be making no dollars a week. So you better invest that money and save every penny." And the Hungarian guys, they got old, they sold. The new owner said, "Arrivederci." They fired everybody, and she was like 38. And I said, "What are you going to do?" She goes, "Oh, I hurt my back." And I'm like, "Yeah, go try to get Social Security disability." She did, and they said, "We don't have a record of you even working."
Nothing.
They don't think. That's where Charlie is in that situation, unless of course he's already getting SSI and nobody knows about it.
I think you might be. He hasn't been bringing in the money that he needs to do what he's been doing.
Yeah. Danny needs to find out if Lindsay worked. And I'm saying this because I noticed how quickly Lindsay's mom pawned off Ben. Oh, I don't want him here anymore. I'm thinking, what grandmother doesn't want to see their grandson, especially in that time? And I was thinking Lindsay was a grifter. I remember the stories that I heard. And my prediction was soon as little Ben gets to be 5, he's going to go to school. They're going to move, I don't know, Southern Maryland or Tennessee. And as soon as they did that, Danny would have been thrown out of the house. He would have to pay child support. So, and then never see Ben again. And I was thinking, people with that mindset, they didn't wake up one day and learn that. They were taught that. I think Lindsay did work. And I think her mom already applied for survival benefits under Ben's name and just put it in.
Shit.
I wouldn't put that past her because I have seen much worse when I help people with their benefits. I go, who's this guy? And the one guy's like, that's my brother. I'm like, why is money that should be going to you going to him? He's like, I don't know. I go, put him on speakerphone right now and call. And he called him, and his brother was like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about it." They started an argument, so they didn't have to talk about it. It's like, why did you erase my hard drive? It's your fault, and that's the last I'm talking about that. And they walk away. No, it's like the guy who owes you money. Hey, you owe me $1. He'll pick a fight with you, and like, I'm not paying you now. Fuck you. That's what people do, and you learn that as a very young kid, and you help people with their benefits, you see and hear it all. Trust me, I didn't see and hear all of it, but I saw and heard enough. And I hope it's not. Yeah, I hope it's not that, but I wouldn't put it past me. But Danny should at least check. Please check. How hard is it to pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, my kid's mom passed away. Here's her birthday. Here's her social security number. Here's her death certificate. Once they see that you have legitimate cause, they will pull up on the screen and say, "Hey, she qualified for Part A. That means survivor benefits. Guess what? Are you married? No. Okay, you don't get spousal." Danny, being Danny, he'll be like, "Why don't I?" Well, you're not a spouse. You got to be married, Danny. Okay, then that's out of the equation. But the kid,
common law,
yeah, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work on that. That only works when they want to come back and get you for palimony and alimony and stuff. But when it comes for giving benefits, the state, they have strict rules. If you're a citizen, but if you're a non-citizen, then you can do anything you want. But anyway, he should. I still have the photo I took on my last trip. All these illegals were walking past, and I was like, wow, is that a special line? I was going to get out and go in that line. And then I saw like they were being ushered in. They all had manila envelopes. And then I knew they were illegals. And then I saw the sign in 12 languages. It read, if you are undocumented and you have your packet, go here. And then that was the English. So they had Chinese, Spanish, you name it. They had every language. I took that photo. I should post that.
Crazy. Beans and brews.
Others as well. Yeah, Mr. G. Yep.
1 second. I'm in the elevator, heading north.
Oh, Monster! Did you hear I got yelled at by the Ukrainians?
No. What happened?
Well, not Ukraine, but a Ukrainian that works at YouTube.
Oh no!
And so anyway, yeah, I sat there and I got this letter saying this email saying, "Hey, congratulations, you qualify for a silver award, 100,000 subscriber." I hit delete, and then about 3 days later, I'm getting these calls from Google. I'm like, Google? Why is Google contacting me? And then I said, oh, wait a minute. I worked with Google on the digital wallet, and I said, oh, maybe they fixed it. I pick up this time. Hi, my name is Vlanto Lambert. I said, I don't understand you. Are you like Russian or Ukrainian? She goes, yes, I'm Ukrainian, but that's not what I'm calling. I'm calling from YouTube. I'm like, I think you have the wrong number. And she's like, are you so-and-so? I said, yes. And she said, then I have the right number. I said, then why are you calling? Well, you didn't respond to my email. I said, what email? And I thought, oh, wait, that was the email I deleted. I said, well, I may have deleted it by accident or on purpose, depending on what's in the content of the email. And she said, well, you qualify for an award. I'm like, oh. I said, can I give that to somebody else? Yeah. And I didn't know Ron's address off the top of my head. I was going to send it to Ron. Because Ron just said he opened up this bin and he had his neighbor's black dildo delivered to his house. And I was actually walking in the rain, in the snow, and I was laughing, and people are like, look at this nut. He's out walking in the rain laughing. What's he laughing about? If they heard what I heard, they would have been laughing. But anyway, they were like, what do you want? So I went to this place and put in a code, and it said, put whatever you want on your award. And I said, I wonder if I can do this. I put, fuck you. And I hit enter. And then it had a red exclamation point, and it said, unauthorized. It's like, do I have to put them like an underscore? So I put the underscore. Unauthorized. So apparently you can't do that. And then it took like 2 weeks for them to like finally convince me to take this award. And I said, what do you want me to do? It's some silver plaque for having 100,000 subscribers.
Oh,
I said,
okay, I got it.
I said, wait a minute. I said, wait, isn't there like another award for this? And they're like, no, that's the only award you win. I said, I didn't know I was in a competition to win anything. And she said, I showed her a picture, and she goes, oh, you have to pay for that. I said, wait a minute, Jeff Lepar paid for that? And Jeff,
no, really?
Poor Jeff paid for his lead weight one. I guess it's if you meet the goal, you don't pay for the silver award. That's free. But there's another one. It's like a heavy weight you put on your desk, and it costs like $230, $250. I'm like, why would somebody buy that? I guess Jeff wanted it because I was watching his 100,000 party.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, what the hell?
What channel? You had a channel that got 100. Was that I found that channel. That was a channel where you had the picture of the Vatican or something.
Yeah, and I put, if you like Jesus, yeah, I think that has like 1.4 million views now. The
crazy.
Airline has 750,000 views. And I'm like, what? I was like, what's going on? Why am I getting like, I figured I would get maybe 100 subscribers. You know how like people just click and they go. Mm-hmm. It's like 113,000 right now. I'm like, that's what the hell? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to somebody in Thailand, and I'm going to change the name, and then I'm going to show them what to do. And all they have to do is just go on camera, and the Simps will come flying, and they're going to make money. And I said, you know what? Nice. I'd rather have them make the money. And what I'll do is I'll buy a second award, and I'll put their name of their the channel it's changed to, and put that so they can put that up so people see that. Because some reason they gave me a check mark next to my name.
Okay, that's 100K. That's 100,000. Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's this? And that's when like I researched it. I'm like, I didn't even know. I was like at like 53,000, and I looked. I said, holy shit! I pressed enter for that channel on July 4th, 2025. In less than 8 months, it hit over 100,000.
That's all it takes. It's just the one right video or whatever. You just people. So I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change that, give that to that person, and trust me, as soon as they see her face on that screen,
she's going to be making money. And I'll in the background, I'll like, do this. Do not do this. And it's theirs.
YouTube superstar.
Yeah. It's funny because like I used to watch. I think during the lockdowns there was something. She's really ugly. Just Keth or something on Twitch. She's half French. Her dad's French and her mom's Thai. And very, very abrasive, almost borderline combative attitude. I don't just walk around Thailand for free. You have to send me. And she stalled at 92,000. She's been on 92,000 for 4 years now. Running her mouth. That ended it.
Yeah, it pissed people off. Give me one second. I gotta.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. Watch this.
The Park crime family. They're the Bunions. We're about an hour away from
doing your Sudoku or what? We got to get your hours straightened out, Dad. It's 4:30 a.m. You gotta hit the sack. I have to go to work in about a half an hour, so yeah, I got an early day. So I'll see you later. I gotta hit work, so yeah. Okay. You go with your pay. That's your good paper for today, right? You good with that? Yeah, we're gonna talk about the keys. I had to talk to an officer. Talk to an officer today downstairs about the driving. We might have to. We're gonna talk about the driving, okay? Okay. So I'll keep the keys for now, and then we're gonna have to talk about that. Okay? You good? Okay. I'm gonna hit the sack.
Monster, you want me to play Reveille or Retreat?
How'd that go?
That went fine. You led it. You were leading the conversation. He was in agreement, but we'll see how it goes when you get home. And he's like, hey, where are my keys for the first time?
That's exactly.
Look, it's going to happen.
Maybe I should just like park the car like in a different location, like it's gone, like it got stolen.
No. Well, what you could do is park it and say, hey, it's in the shop. So he doesn't call the police.
Someone else was saying basically just disconnect the battery. So like leave the keys, he'll go down there and try to start it, but it won't start.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the first thing he pointed at. He said, "Point." You know. Oh,
yeah. Man. Look, you're going to have to make the decision.
It's done, Gogo.
Yeah. So yeah. Just ease them into it a little bit. Why don't you, like when you can, like this weekend, if you're not being a roughing or anything, just take them out and just say, hey, look, why don't we go out and do some stuff? I think I should, spend more time rather than you drive. You need to do something. Get me, I'll take you out. And then you can slowly ease out of that. And because eventually you're going to have everything delivered. You're just the paper, the food. You can pay a kid like, hey, here's $20. Make sure my dad gets his newspaper every day and his coffee, and make friends with the Uber guy. Trust me, these guys for an extra $20. Kelly Caldwell for $20 will walk across the street, go get the paper, and bring it to your dad.
Yeah,
there's plenty of it. And how old are your kids? Your sister's kids? Are they drivable age? Are they?
Nah, they're all young. They're all young.
Yeah. And they're too far. Yeah, they're just not going to come over yet.
It's in the realm. It's.
Yeah, so it's on you. It's on you. You take care of it, and it'll work out. And
we'll get squared away.
I can't wait. I can't wait till you guys stream. The comments I'm going to be asking. 1982.
Oh God!
Remember when General Dinkins was the mayor? What was Wall Street like when Dinkins was mayor? Don't get me started on that guy.
If I ever did coke, this would be the time that I would need cocaine.
Wow. Yeah, to keep you going.
God.
Wow, look at what Lotto said. His friend lost his mind after his heart valve replacement. He called me to break him out of the facility he's being housed in. Lotto, I'm going to give you my contact info. For a non-refundable, non-taxable, non-negotiable fee, we can do this. We can go get your friend. I actually walked in the VA. I was 14 years old because a guy at my church went cuckoo. He stood up, and I remember the preacher goes, "Listen, next year there's going to be an election. I can't tell you because of behind the pulpit who to vote for, but vote for any Reagan of your choice." And the guy's name was Marty, and he stood up, "Vote for Reagan! Vote for Reagan!" He started marching up and down the. And I was like, "Holy!" I saw that. I was a kid. I was like, "Holy shit, this guy's cool. I'm coming back here next week." And he was in the VA. He wore his Class A. It was a brown one, so he was like in the Korean War. This guy, he was old. He had his brown Class A, his jacket on, and he would wear it in church. And then, and I would walk over and I would salute him with my left hand. He goes, "No. You're supposed to salute with your right hand. And I'm not an officer, so you can't salute. I work for a living." I guess that was a joke in the military for him. So anyway, we went to go visit him. I'm in the elevator and my buddy's with me. And we go and I'm walking. I go, "You go that direction and I'll go this direction." My buddy was immediately stopped. That's what he told me. He goes, "I was stopped. They made me stay here. I couldn't go anywhere." I opened 8 doors minimum. I'm walking, and the further I was going, it was like, remember One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Great movie.
Yeah. I was wandering around, and all the people were in there. Like, I saw Jack Nicholson. I saw the Big Indian. I saw all the other people in there. And a guy came up to me, he was big dude. He goes, "What are you doing in here?" I said, "I'm looking for a friend of ours. We're here to visit here. Here's the paper show that we're allowed to be here to visit." He goes, "Come here." We walked out. He goes, "Dude, how did you get through these doors?" I said, "I just opened them and walked." He said, "No one said anything?" I go, "No." And he goes, "Did anybody see you?" I said, "One guy." And I described him. He goes, "Where did you see this guy?" I said, "Like 2-3 doors in." So he ran, and obviously that was I call him an inmate, but he was a patient. And then he came back. He goes, "Please don't come back here. Just stay in the waiting area. We'll bring the guy to you." And he brought Marty out. Marty came in and goes, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And of course, he called me some other name that he knew from years ago, and he called my buddy another name. And that's when I learned how to play along with it. And so we talked to him, and I was like, "This is fucked up." We say goodbye. We'll talk to him later. We're in the elevator, and this old guy's hugging this very attractive young woman. And he gets in the elevator back, and she gets out and says, "Bye, Dad." And I was like, "She's an inmate? She worked here?" And he goes, "No, she's a patient here."
Oh, Jesus.
I said, "What happened?" And he said, she was in the Navy, and she was, they beat the shit out of her. A couple people beat the shit out of her, and I forgot what port it was. It was like San Diego or Jacksonville, Virginia, or whatever. And she lost her bearings from then. I think he said she was 21, 22. I was like, holy shit. I was shocked. I thought she was saying goodbye, visiting him, saying goodbye to the old guy. It was, so you don't know. So you
looks can be deceiving.
Oh yeah, look at Ron. He looks normal until that eye closes. He has that Popeye look.
You see this comment from Jermaine in regards to Ben? I guess Ben's.
No, that's Will. That's Will. That's not Jermaine.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Ben, Will, whoever the fuck it is. I guess
Yeah.
he smashed another laptop. Did you see that? I didn't see it.
Oh. Listen, that maybe South's paid for it because he was repeating his name.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. Smash up a perfectly good laptop. I don't understand. Maybe Ben buy new Apple Nano or computers. Yeah, the new phone's supposed to come out. I can't buy it because I can. I just have to buy it in Southeast Asia. Or you know what I'm thinking about doing when the Yankees play Toronto? I used to go up once a year, take the hour 40-minute flight to Toronto and just buy it at Apple Store there because they have the SIM trace in Canada. And we don't have and we have the eSIMs here, and I'm not a fan of that because like my carrier is Optimum, and they're like, well, you got to log into this, and I logged in, and it said you do not have an account. And I said, wait a minute, I know I logged into this when I first had the phone. Never changed it. So I was on the phone for 45 minutes and the guy couldn't help me. And I'm like, why don't we just delete this account and just create a new one? And then I log it out. He goes, oh, that's a last resort. I go, well, let's start at the last resort.
Let's do that now.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just keep my Google with the SIM as my phone, my 11 iPro 11 Max, and it has 90% battery storage still on it over 6 years because I just use it for travel. Because I alluded earlier about Google. I thought, hey, I work with them about the digital wallet because I contacted them. I say, I can't, when I'm in Asia, my electronic boarding can't be downloaded to my wallet correctly. They said, well, you just sent it to us and it looks cool, working to us. I said, yeah. Now let me show you what the Apple phone downloads. Same flight, same boarding pass. And they looked, they go, well, we're not seeing anything different. So I had to circle 2 letters, 2 initials in my middle name that don't show up on the Google, but do show up on the Apple. I found out it's the Asian airlines. It's at their end because the Italian airline worked fine. American airline worked fine on the Google. So it's the Asian airlines, but it works for Apple. So I keep that phone because I'm not doing paper and all that stuff. I'm doing everything electronic.
You still doing that?
Uh-oh.
What happened? You hear me?
Yeah. It's Chad Jones said everyone lost their channels this past week. There was a flagging blitz. What a coincidence. I come back when all the channels are down. Is there a coincidence, or is that just something to do with it? Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't care about channels. I hope everybody gets their channels back. Just stop having drama and use your own content, folks. Ron is not your content. But anywho, Eddie Booth. Ben's going through a tough time. What he needs from us is support, not for us to be discussing it behind his back. Correct. So we won't be talking about Ben.
Oh, Jesus.
9 minutes away, Monster will be emptying his bladder. The flap is in the human body. The bladder has a little flap at the top, and if it gets it's in between, and if it gets too much urine, it gets heavy and it starts sagging. That's what happens to men when they're old. And it's not a good picture. You know where I learned that? And I had Anatomy Physiology 1 and 2. I didn't learn it in that. I learned it in AA. I went with a buddy of mine because he didn't have a ride. So I had to drive him. And I said, I'm not going to sit in the sun out. I'm going to go in there. And I remember he stood up, hey, my name's Dave. And they were, hi, Dave. I stood up. I go, hey, I'm Gogo. And everybody say, hi, Gogo.
I've done that. Great stories.
Yeah.
Great
stories. My God.
Yes.
If I was ever contemplating drinking, that meeting sealed the deal where I would never drink. Because I don't know who would I be, like a nice guy, happy, like funny guy, or would I be a dick like Ron and yell at the hot dog guy? And you don't know, and I don't want to be that
drunk.
Yeah, that's the worst kind. I watch these arrest videos on YouTube. I don't watch it. Well, when I'm on the stationary bike, I do, but I listen to them when I walk at the park. And oh my God, the guy is like, they show him like playing with his kids. Everything's fine. Everybody loves the guy. He starts drinking. His kids have belt strap marks on their backs, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Some people can't drink. They're not supposed to.
Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde.
Or Ron and Ron number 2. Or Ron and Ron one-eyed. But I guess I'm surprised Ron isn't in prison at this point. All the fucking drinking he does. But I think he's annoyable drunk. He's one of those guys. He goes in the bar, and then he's doing great when he's sober, but then he gets a little bit too much, and then everybody hates him. They'll take his drinks from him at first, but after a while, they're like, it's not worth getting a free drink to be around this guy.
He's a fucking nuisance.
Yeah. But
you can't even
again,
he's not a functional alcoholic. He really isn't a functional alcoholic.
No, because he's not drunk when he's driving and doing his job. So you can't say he's functioning. He's just a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's like a nice guy, and he drinks, and then that's it. There's no, you can't get around it. Oots Chips incident, case in point. Yep. And Ron would have won in court because they never gave him his product he paid for electronically, and he never left the store with the chips until he was made to leave. So, and he also paid for those electronically. Ron was going to win, but you just don't yell at the cop. You just walk away.
Mm-hmm. He can't.
Well,
when he's drunk like that, he never walk away. You know?
Yeah, he can't, because at some point there's a trigger that says, I'm right. No matter what, I'm fighting. I'm standing my ground. And when you're drunk, that's the worst time when that trigger hits, because you can't, you're not coherent. Can't argue. And most times, if you were sober and the cop said, hey, listen, leave or get arrested, you would just leave. But Leroy never showed up. Leroy quit. He lasted about 10 days. And all the women that worked there, they knew Ron over time. And they're, he's harmless. You mean this guy? Leroy ran in the back of the store when he saw Ron go back in.
Well, that one bartender got really pissed at him the one time. Like, literally just.
But they all know him. They all know him. And I could not believe this. I was watching Banksy. And remember, he did Saturday morning and his music, and Ron popped on, and he's walking around the harbor, and he showed up, and there was a wedding reception or a wedding, and he just said, hey, let me buy you a bottle of champagne. Why would you do that, for one? And two, the guy came out who owns like half the bars. You're not welcome here. You're banned from here. That should have been a sign for Ron never ever drink on camera again. That should have been it. But he's not going to get it. And he's too, look, you have what, H3? By then you form your character. You're done. You're not, you are who you're going to be by the time you're 3-4 years old. You're going to be a nice person, a dick, a thief, a druggie. You already had that blueprint set up. It's on you when you're 12 to say, hey, right and wrong. And then after that, as an adult, it's on you again. You have stages, and people just fail the stages. And a lot of people hit that bottle, and it numbs them. Look at all the people. I got an argument on Ohio State blog recently, and guys were like, oh, my 92-year-old mom, she loves the gummies. That helps her sleep. I go, yeah. She sleeps from 4 p.m. to 1 p.m. She's up for a couple hours. That's not sleeping. She's in a state. And you're a hypocrite. And he's like, oh, what am I a hypocrite about? I said, I remember 8 years ago, you were saying I was on a jury and a guy had less than 2 joints and I voted guilty. Fuck him. He's a druggie. Here you are pushing weed in your 70s, bro. You're a hypocrite. And then he tried to. Yeah. Yeah, people don't understand. I've been arguing with people online since 93. And it like usually it was like people that I knew in the military. Because we had ARPANET and everything, and then we had our own networks. And then AOL decided to expand.
Hello? What was it? Hello, welcome.
Hello, welcome. You've got trolls.
Oh, shit.
AOL just ended some service. I was like, I'm not going to complain about AOL. Their parent company made me a lot of money. I probably could have retired.
Remember all the CDs? The CDs?
Oh, yeah. They would send them out for free. Yeah.
Oh, my God. There was so many.
I remember a buddy of mine, he sent me a couple. And I remember what Homer Simpson said. Someone goes, hey, look, the internet. And he goes, that thing's still around? And I used to say that to him because he has an ISP and he has over 400 pots across the world. He's the second or third largest provider in New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area. And I remember when he had 8 modems and he had like 150 customers. And I remember he had one customer down in Princeton. He goes, dude, I don't want to drive all the way fucking almost. He's way up there in Newton, Pennsylvania, all the way down there just to like turn on their computer. Can you go over there, please? So he had the guy on the phone. I showed up and I told him what to do and he did it. And he was like, we were buddies since then. He did quite well for himself. I remember everybody told him, you're wasting your time, man, having an ISP and you'll never make money. And he's like, I'm not doing this for that. I'm doing this. And then I remember he got in trouble by Microsoft. He poked the bear a little bit and he thought, they're never going to do anything. Went to court and Microsoft was cool about it. He said, look, Your Honor, we just want him to cease and desist what he's doing. If he doesn't, we're going to slam him. That day, he stopped doing what he was doing, and it worked out. Very, very successful. 8 modems. He linked the 8 modems. I'll never forget that. I'm like, how many people can you have? He goes, well, I could probably get 20 on each. So I said, you were almost maxed out. He goes, yeah, I don't want to max it out because I have to. He started in his basement, moved to his garage, and he moved to an old abandoned firehouse. He went from there. He just kept getting bigger and bigger. Very successful.
That was the office, huh?
Yeah. Good dude. He couldn't figure out one problem one time. And I remember he called me up. He's like, hey, I know way more about computers than you, and I can't figure this out. Maybe you could come here in the fresh mind and you're not pissed off and want to kill this fucking guy for fucking up the system. Can you come over here? Are you good with Perl? I said, yeah, I'm good with Perl. And I went there and it was like 2 minutes. and I go, the guy wasn't in there. I go, here's what I did. And he goes, I said, I'm going to just walk out and say, hey, do you got a coffee machine? And he can go there. And then when I come back, I fixed it. And that's what we did. He's been really cool to me. And I get it. He was there for the guy fucked everything up. And then that guy's boss, I'll never forget this guy. He too became very successul in the insurance industry. And, the company they would duplicate CDs, but for companies, for medical, and they were just taking care of everything. They were ahead of the game. And he goes, hey, how loyal are you with this guy? I said, we're friends. There's no business. We're friends. I happen to be in the area and I'm good at what. He goes, come work for me. I said, what? I said, I can't work for you. He goes, why not? I go, I'm in the military. I'll never forget it. He's like, get out of the military. I'll give you a signing bonus. I said, no. 2 years later, he fired every employee, sold the company, went down to Miami. And that's when he met other really successful people, and they needed someone with his background in our area. So they sent him back up from Miami, and he got really successful before. He's getting all these like awards where like Obama was presenting him an award. I'm like, this isn't the same guy.
He's got a lot of money.
Yeah. Last time I recall, he was he headed up Chubb Insurance.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
but I knew him when he was eating at McDonald's, bringing lunch in from McDonald's. So it was funny how people when they're just starting out, and everybody's like, "Wow, that guy's not gonna make. That guy's not gonna make." And then years later, you stay in touch with these guys, and they're very, very successful.
It's hard to read. I mean, there's some people it's obvious, but other people you just
like Danny. Danny going into any venture, it's not going to work out. And I'm not saying that the shit on Danny, but 92% of the people are like Danny. You just know going in. The hard ones to read are like my buddy with the ISP, because you're like, dude, AOL, Prodigy, CompuServe, and whatever ones those. Oh, remember that?
Oh yeah, I had CompuServe.
I was pissed Prodigy left. I like Prodigy.
I knew a kid that Prodigy was based out of, I think, Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Yep, it was up there
where it originated. One of the kids that I was friends with actually worked there. He left college early. I met him at Harvard, actually. I told you the Harvard story back at but he actually worked with me at Harvard, and then he was a techie, more of not like college educated techie, but like
he was the guy who he was hands on. He already knew this stuff. He didn't.
Well, that was it.
He wasn't formally trained, and the only reason they formally train people, and I saw this, and I part of it a lot, is if you hire a guy and his resume says he can do this and he can't, he fucks up. When your boss's boss comes to you and say, who hired him and why, you can show him that insurance policy. Here's his resume. That's why we hired him. But a guy like your friend who just blow everybody away with knowledge, nobody's going to take a chance with him. Well, now they will, but back in the day they would, because
now
they didn't have that insurance policy of that diploma and resume. They weren't taking it. Now they see a diploma, they're like, well, I don't want to trust this fucking. It's the opposite now.
I was watching something with, I guess he maybe not the same now, but he was at one point one of the youngest Google employees. I think it was Facebook it was Facebook. They hired him when he was 19, and I guess he was like from the Ukraine or wherever, and it was a pretty interesting story. Kid, I guess, was 14 years old, and something happened with his family. They didn't have any way to make money, and this kid figured out how to code. And he came up with like a simple program that they put up on the web, and he ended up it got bought by Facebook or whoever, and then I don't even think he graduated high school, but Facebook hired him right off the bat. Now he's a CEO of an AI company or something. But
I just saw that. He has like big ears.
Yeah. It was the same thing.
Yeah. I just saw that, and I was when you said. He made it to 10th grade. Instantly, it brought back that. I saw that video last week too, and I'm thinking, think of all the guys that were turned down because somebody couldn't take. Not that they shouldn't, but they couldn't take a chance because they weren't going to risk their employment if someone fucked up.
Well, and he left. He started his own company.
Yep,
sold out or something. Then went back to Facebook, and
he's going to head NASA.
I forget what it was, but yeah.
That's he did something, and they brought him in, and he's going to head NASA. That guy is going to head NASA. You watch. Yes. One day you're going to be NASA. Head of NASA is going to be speaking. You'll see that guy's ears. His ears were like huge, and compared to his head. But yeah, he literally is going to be heading NASA. He did something for the space industry. Very intelligent. Yeah, there are people that just like have their shit together. I saw a video today. I don't know if it was a spoof or skit or AI, but this grand champion, it was a female and an adult, and she was going to play a kid, and she goes, "I'm a grand champion." He goes, "But you're a woman grand champion." And
So
he got like, what the hell? And this was a young kid, and he within like 5 minutes won. I was like, and he goes, "Don't worry, and you're gonna be proud one day to tell people you play chess against me." And he picked up his seat cushion where he had to help to set up so he could see over the table. It was a little kid walked up. I said, "This has got to be a skit." And then I looked it up. That lady is a grand champion, and that kid is like Bobby Fischer waiting to happen in the future. Unbelievable how that kid just went right through it. And you see it in the parks. You walk around New York, and I don't see it as much anymore. But in the 80s,
speed chess.
yeah, these guys would go from one table to the next, and they would play everybody all day, and they would just walk around. Everybody in there is very good at it, but they're only good at one thing. They're good at chess. They're not good at like this, that. And that kid is that way. Because I remember I've been reading up on him, and his mom asked him to like do some kind of work, and he didn't know how to like ring him up. He was like confused. He goes, "What do you do?" And put him on a chessboard. He's like ready to roll. Just how it is.
A master.
Craig Rusin,
Go.
you got to go.
It's time for me to take a shower and get ready. Appreciate you popping on and talking.
Yeah.
Keep in touch, and
Yeah.
I'll keep the saga going. The ongoing
Yeah, keep it
saga.
going. I was actually planning on popping on if you had open mic on the panel on when you're in Manhattan. But if you go on I'll wait until Manhattan, your trip for the cruise to come on if you have that.
There we go. I think I had something scheduled for Saturday. I may or may not do it. We'll see.
Yeah, you did. And I'm you already did it. This was it.
This was it exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Everybody else, they're sleeping. You slept.
Yep.
You Monster fell asleep the other day. You snooze, you lose this day.
Exactly.
But,
that's cool. Appreciate you
Take
popping on, and I will, man. Thanks for coming on.
Take care of your dad. Cheers, everyone.
Have a good one, guys. Peace out. Later.
Cheers.